quite cool, actually. It was quite cool you're both available because then we can have like a bit of a get together.
It just means that I can't recycle all the usual shit I talk on Boss Wave.
No, you can't. Yeah, Chris is here.
Okay.
Let's get him in as well.
Hi, Rob.
Evening, Chin.
You alright?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you doing?
Yeah, fine. There
we go. God, Duke's a numpty, isn't he? What is he like? Bless him.
What's going on with him?
Well,
Hello.
Hello,
Hi, Chris.
Hiya, Chris.
Hello.
Hiya, Chris.
So basically, this is the story. So last night, Chinny got home late because he'd been in Leeds. Is that correct?
Correct.
So you were a bit tired and obviously answering Tara, so that's fair dues. So we said last night, well, let's do it tomorrow. And Duke was like, yeah. And Duke had some photo shoot thing going on with the Duchess.
His new modelling career.
Yeah, something like that. Who knows? I think it was something to do with her election thing that she's doing. So anyway, I said, well, let's do it tomorrow night because I'm off on Tuesday, so we can do it a bit later if need be, so that's not a problem. And then Duke had forgotten all about a governor's meeting at the school and like sent us a message about 6 o'clock tonight to go, can't come tonight. So, yeah, no, what are you going to do?
But how can you replace Duke? You can't replace him. You've got to get two people to replace Duke. He's that good.
Exactly. Luckily, we've got you two brilliant guys in. So, got to give you a bit of ass kissing and stuff. So it's all good.
So for when we see you for the arcade club, you can kiss it in person.
Indeed. I've been known to go lower, to be fair.
That sounds pretty low, mate.
It is, but I've been known to do worse, I tell you, honestly, it's true. Right, in that case, with no intro music, because obviously Duke isn't here. So are you ready, Chinny?
Yeah.
How do you record the show these days?
I don't know.
Well, Duke normally does it because he just has some fancy thing he does on his Mac, so we just leave him to it.
Well, we've got Skype.
But I'm just using Skype Recorder tonight because that does the job.
I've just clicked start recording.
Yeah, do it anyway, just in case, because I haven't used it. It automatically records it. So we'll see what happens. It used to be, I don't know whether they've changed it, but it
What
used
did you ask, Rob?
Who's recording?
No, but why did you ask, Rob?
I was wondering that myself.
Anyway, it used to do this weird thing where every time you added another call, it would start another file to record, but it doesn't seem to do that anymore since it's been updated. So who knows? We'll see.
Thanks for the update.
I know, yeah. Well, I used to have freaking about 5 files when we were doing a live show. 6 or 7 or however many callers we got on, because every time I added someone else, it started another one. I don't know. Stupid. Right. Are we ready to go, people?
Yo.
Are you ready, Mike?
Yeah.
Ready, Rob?
I am ready.
Oh, sounds like everybody's ready. That's all good. Right. Here we go then, in our case. Are you ready?
No.
Here we go. Hello and welcome to the Veteran Gamers Podcast, episode 477.
Woo! 477 coming at you from heaven.
Yay.
Brilliant. As always, I'm Stu.
I'm Chinny, I guess.
I'm
Chris.
Duke.
No, it's all fucked. This show's fucked.
4 people fucked it. It's never going to work.
Oh, God.
Let's just go home.
I know, let's just go now.
I am home.
Yeah, you are. We are all home. We're all home. We should explain.
Not here. Duke's not here.
Duke isn't here. We should explain what the hell's going on.
He's not here.
Basically, Duke's a dick. Is a good way of putting it.
He's not a dick.
Well, he's a bit of an idiot. All right, he's a bit forgetful.
Forgetful.
He's got Alzheimer's.
He's got a lot on.
He's a loving partner that's supporting his beautiful wife, is what he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a lot on. So
He's got stuff to do.
basically, Duke's got stuff to do, forgot all about it. We'd already moved the night, and then he couldn't do the night we moved to because he got stuff to do.
Mad drama.
Yeah, so he ain't here. So as a result, we've got a half of the boss wave on the show.
Yeah.
Majority. That's like two-thirds, I would say.
The OG boss wave.
The OG boss wave, 2/3, whatever. I don't do fractions.
It's 1/3 of the OG your boss with.
Yeah, we've got 0.75 of the boss wave.
Enough of them anyway.
Yeah,
Plenty.
So yeah, we've got Chris and Rob here to fill in for Duke because we thought 2's better than 1, and this should be quite fun. There you go.
Yeah.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, exactly. Have you had a good week, guys? Have you had a good week?
This is where you got to direct your question at one person.
All right, you got a good week, guys. Chris.
Well, he's asking what we've been doing, so he's clearly asking you, Chris.
Yeah,
Rob's eating some nice food.
Yeah.
Right.
What about baby poo? Have you dealt with any of that stuff?
The what? Sorry.
Babies and poo and stuff.
Yes. Well, yeah. Any listeners of our show will have heard me with the poo story. The guys didn't believe me that she managed to shit about 2 meters across the bedroom, and I had to send them the photograph of the splatter marks to prove it. Well, it was my own fault because it's one of the only rooms in the house that's actually got carpet, and she was shitting all at me, and then I thought, oh man, it's going all up me, so I step out the way, and then it shot across the room,
no.
and then dribbled down into Camilla's drawer that was open below her.
Babies, don't you just love them?
Oh,
and then for some reason they were disappointed that I didn't use that as the show image.
What, baby shit on a wall?
You know what, Rob? If they're gonna censor you like that, I would fuck off the show, mate. To be honest.
Yeah.
I just thought shit against a wall was a bit too accurate for describing what our show is.
That's our creative process. We just basically shit on a wall and then hope something sticks.
Oh my god. Jeez. Do you know, I've forgotten what it was like to have a baby, and you, Mike, have all this to come. Oh,
that's if I choose to have babies.
That is true.
I might just adopt an 18-year-old.
Yeah, that doesn't shit on the wall.
Well, some of them do. But
So apart from the shitting on the wall and on you, how's it going? How is fatherhood?
It's great. Yeah, really enjoying it.
How many times do you get that question, Chris?
Yeah, Chris. How often?
A lot, but I don't care because I love talking about it because I'm a new parent, and that's what we do. We show pictures of our baby to everybody, and we
look
all the shit
at
out
my
of them with our baby stories.
Look at my baby. Look. It's different from the others.
Look at my baby.
Only just. There was one point there when we were just come out of hospital, and some of our friends had just had a baby as well. And we were flicking through photos, showing people, and like, is that our baby? We thought it was our baby for like 10 seconds. Like, no, that's not ours. Somebody else's.
Proof.
They all look the same when they first come out. They just look like they've been in a punch up with Mike Tyson or something.
Yeah, they look nothing like you see in the movies, though. That's the funny thing.
Yeah, covered in snot and blood.
No, not snot. It's more like fat, isn't it? It's like
white
jizz.
Fat. Yeah, it wasn't jizz. That would have been a weird
it is a weird thing. It's nothing like you see in them. They come out clean, and like babies do not look like that when they come out.
Yeah, they're given those little hobo hats as well, like the hospital issue hobo hats, and make them all look like they've just been living out on the street.
That's it. That's what happens. Can I just say, I am pleased. I've just checked on your Facebook page just to make sure you haven't changed your profile picture to a baby. That's always good. It needed just to check though that they haven't fallen into that trap. So
how dare you love your own child, you fucking idiot?
No, you don't love your child because you just put his picture on Facebook, do you? That's all that about. Weirdly, we were talking about weird things to do on Facebook at work the other day, and I have a friend whose dog has its own Facebook page.
Oh wow!
My dog's got its own Twitter account.
Fraser's got his own Twitter account, and Fraser's dog has, and so
it's just ridiculous. Fucking dogs don't type.
Yeah, that's why my dog's Twitter account hasn't actually had any tweets.
So you don't even
pretty much the entire time.
Tweets. I love that.
I think my wife intended to create something on it and then never bothered. So yeah.
Is she actively trying to teach Sonny to do this, or is it something that you just hope will do it by himself at some point?
I think she might have been intending to take videos herself and put it on there, Chris.
Okay.
It's just ridiculous. People do ridiculous things.
We do. We love our pets.
Recording
love pets.
Podcast.
Love our kids. What the fuck is wrong with us all?
It's okay. It's life, man. It's life. Let them have it.
Oh yeah. Anyway, you'll be pleased to know we don't do news or any of that bollocks anymore, which you probably may or may not already know.
You don't do retro reviews, do you?
No, we don't.
We don't need any more if you want one.
We barely talk about video games, to be honest, Robin.
We barely do, to be fair. We talk about PlayStations found under a bush. So there you go. It's kind of more interesting.
Whose bush was it?
It was a neighbour's bush. To be fair, it was well trimmed.
What are you doing in there? Oh, I heard this.
I was having a rummage. I was having a rummage in my neighbour's bush, and I found a PlayStation 4.
Good job.
There you go. That's what happens.
Wow.
We should sort of crack on, I guess, because there's 4 of us to get through here. Have you got the spinny wheel, Chinny, or are we just doing it randomly?
I can get the spinny wheel.
Let's get the spinny. I think we need the spinny wheel as this 4
have to
of us.
stall just for 30 seconds.
That's okay. I can certainly do it. How about you, Rob? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Don't go to Rob. He ain't gonna give you lots of material, is he?
Shit.
I mean, they make this mistake on our podcast. But, yeah.
He's just gonna give you nothing. Oh, what have you been doing? Nothing.
So let me ask you this, Rob. Look, what's the most exciting thing that happened to you this week?
Probably this, which shows you how bad it's getting.
Oh my God!
Hang on, we recorded a show this week. What's wrong with
Exactly.
Ah, we're having a laugh. Right, okay. We got the random name generator. I'm spinning it now.
Okay.
For some reason, I used my first name. I don't know. But Robin, you're up. Congratulations.
What have you been playing, Rob?
Well, I have talked about it on ours, which we played Hollow. Oh, I played Hollow Knight.
Oh.
All right, okay.
that? And so did I.
yes.
This is probably the only thing I've played as well, so spoilers.
Brilliant.
So we do tend to be into our Metroidvanias.
Yes.
We're like an echo chamber over at the Boss Wave. We have each other's opinions and each other's games, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
how is Hollow Knight? Tell us all about it, Rob.
Initially, it was great. It's Metroidvania, a little bit of sort of Dark Souls type stuff in there. Very nice looking. Quite good combat as well. And I really enjoyed it up until right towards the end. Where
Because you're hardcore, aren't you? You can play crazy hard games with no problems.
I wouldn't necessarily say that was true.
I think it is.
Yeah, you can. You're
Yeah,
playing like your Neos and your
Stop being that guy, Robin.
Bloodborns and
Yeah, Dark Souls.
No, it's
all
not that hard. I
bollocks.
mean, Dark Souls,
It's only Dark
blindfolded.
Souls.
Blindfolded
What does it
Dark
matter to
Souls. It's just a laugh, in it.
The only Dark Souls I finished is the third one.
I don't know. I was just making
Oh,
a joke,
what
Robin.
a shame.
he finished Celeste on the
It's
shift
only
the
because
other
he
day in
didn't
one go.
play the other 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true, but yeah.
There you go.
I don't know. I tend to persevere with games. Like, doesn't necessarily matter like how difficult they are or whatever. I'll just keep going.
So what like makes you want to play a game like this? I mean, I'm looking at it here. It looks a bit Celeste-y, to be fair.
There's
Well, I
nothing
mean,
molesty
moves.
about it. It's just
It's a bit not the artwork, but the way it moves around with the like the boosty thing going on, and having to navigate spikes and stuff.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much like standard any kind of Metroidvania, where you'll start out fairly basic, and then you'll get loads of extra skills as you go along that then allow you to explore
So this
the rest of the
boosty
game.
thing isn't something you have from the beginning, then.
No,
Right,
and it's that kind of thing. Like with a lot of those kind of platformers, where it's more or less standard platform, but then in adding these things, it lets you explore more of an area, so you can like move around all over the place and do different stuff in it. So it just makes it a bit more interesting usually. This is throwing in a bunch of like big boss fights, although I suppose that's a standard thing as well.
yeah.
But some of them got, especially towards the end, got really irritating.
I've never really thought about playing this, but this is just standard. It kind of reminds me. I know it's a Metroidvania, but reminds me of is it Ori and the Blind Forest?
Well,
Yeah.
Ori and the Blind
Like
Forest is a Metroidvania, yeah.
Yeah, I know,
It's
but
like a
like
more grim version of it. It's a little
Yeah.
bit more bleak.
Yeah,
But,
it's a bit.
I mean,
grim.
it is a bleak game, and that was a bit of a problem for me to start with. I mean, I've not got as far as Rob. I played quite a bit of it when I was on paternity leave. I played like 20 hours of it, and then I've not had a chance really to play it quite so much because also it gets hard, like Rob said.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like any of these sorts of games, all the bad guys, all the bosses have got patterns, and you can learn them if you're persistent enough. But it'll kick you back potentially a long way. Sometimes you're right outside the room. Sometimes you've got a long way to trek back to get to where you were to try it again. And
Right.
it may take you 6 times to learn the patterns, and then you do it first time. But it's not first time, is it? It's 6th time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it does look pretty bleak. It's black and white, the majority of it, and sort of very drab colours. But there are other areas that are a bit more chirpy and colourful. And
It's quite nicely animated, at least.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really, really well made game, and I didn't get to the point where Rob did, where he just got sick of it. I just didn't have really time to play it, but I can see where that's come in. It's a massive game as well. I mean, as I say, I put 20 hours in. I'm probably only I don't know, 2/3 of the way through or something. Who knows? But yeah, it's a big game, and there's massive DLC for it, and the second one's just been announced, which is originally going to be DLC for this, but they're going to make a whole new one from scratch as a second game. So yeah, I think it's a really impressive game. It's a really amazing game, but it is hard, and it does take a certain type of person to sort of sit down and make that effort to just keep bashing your head against the wall, and you die, it was your fault. Not always, because the first few times you literally would never have a chance. You have to look at the patterns and learn them. But it definitely has that. I've got to have another crack. And when you die, it's got the Dark Souls thing where you've got to get back to your old body so that you can recover the things that you've lost.
Is there loot?
It's not
your money.
Not really. And
Okay.
there's not, and also that whole Dark Souls getting back to your body isn't as important as it would be in
Yeah,
Dark
you
Souls.
don't lose abilities and stuff.
You don't level up really, which is like the main thing. When you gain money in Dark Souls, you usually use it to level up, and you're not doing that. You just use it to buy an extra shit, and you can always just farm more money. So it doesn't necessarily matter. For me, the killer for it, the reason I'm not going to finish it, is it's got that thing where the final boss, took a while, finally defeated the final boss, and then it goes to a second final boss,
Ugh.
which I
to
lost
get the true
against.
ending.
I lost against, and then had to fight the first final boss again.
Yeah, that's awful, isn't it?
And I just thought, nah, I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
There's some games where I feel like if it's not respecting my time, I just can't be bothered anymore. I used to carry on with them anywhere, but of late I've stopped doing that as much.
Yeah, there's hardcore, and then there's I can't be arsed with that shit.
Yeah, I just felt like I might as well just look online and see what the end looks like. There's not really going to be any difference.
Yeah, and is there another boss after the second boss?
No, and I
The
think
difference is you wouldn't be a loser if you finished it, Rob.
well, I only got the second boss because I did extra stuff in the game, which
the boss you beat is normally the final boss then.
Yeah, it would be if I'd just finished it normally. But I did everything else in the game, so yeah.
Because you were super, super good.
Your overconfidence is your weakness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. No, I couldn't be arsed with that. You're just like whatever.
I don't know why I've never really looked at this game, but I think I might like it.
I mean, I would have thought Metroidvanias, because I mean, you like obviously things like Mario and you're like, and then you've persevered with things like I think, did you finish Super Meat Boy? I know
I've never played it.
I know you play Cuphead.
Yeah, I
you
played
finished
Cuphead.
that, didn't you?
So yeah, like you, Rob. I've got skills, not like these two fucks.
Yeah, which you're gonna find out when you see my playthrough with Celeste later.
So yeah, I played Shadow Complex. I played Ori and the Blind Forest. I've never really looked at. I've seen it, and I'm I don't know. But as soon as
Shadow Complex is good.
Yeah, Shadow Complex is probably one of my favourite Metroidvanias.
Guacamelee was generally, I think, our favourite.
Yeah. I've got that on my Xbox, and it was on my Dirty 30. I've had every intention of playing it. I've just never got around to it.
Yeah, it's a good one. I haven't played the second one yet. I still need to get that.
I've given up on the second one.
Rob, what has happened to you?
I know. I've started
you don't
giving up on games.
Robin. Me and you
What
are the
has
same,
happened to
right?
Robin?
We're virtually the same person, except for I'm an extrovert and you're an introvert. But we're pretty much the same apart from that.
Pretty much like Mr. 100%.
Yeah, we don't drink. We have the same kind of sense of humour.
You'd rather smash your dick in the drawer in a game than give up?
Exactly. What are you doing, Robin? What are you doing?
What has happened to you?
I've got to a point where a lot of the games I've been playing recently, I've just not been as enjoying quite as much as I used to.
Have you got old, Rob? Is this what's happened?
It might
Might possibly, yeah. I'm just
true.
thinking. I think I'd prefer playing something that I enjoy and spending more time with that.
Fuck.
This is
Then-
exactly why I just completely stopped playing Red Dead and just gave up on it because I'm not enjoying this. I'm not going to. So yeah, I agree, and I have such little time to play games now that I don't want to be playing something I don't want to play. So I'd rather like Duke, he plays things he enjoys because he hasn't got much
Yeah,
time. Well,
but
he's got more time maybe, but
He's got loads of fucking time. I don't want to hear
He
it.
just spends loads of time
Just 'cause
playing the
like,
same
'cause he
game.
says-
his excuse is different to mine. But
Because this is Duke's argument. I don't have a lot of time, so I gotta fucking play what I want and come back from a long, hard day. I'm like, I don't buy it because you got every time I'm on Steam, I see him on Rocket League. So don't give me that shit.
He's such a liar.
But like, he's like, well, I want to relax when I'm playing video games. I'm like, well, that's not what video games are about, Eric. They're not fun. They're torture.
Torture.
And
They are torture.
they're generally dumb. So, yeah, Hollow Knight. I might give it a go after this conversation.
it's pretty great.
Hollow Knight.
It's pretty great. Worth
Yeah,
a
it
try.
does look pretty impressive, I'm going to say, but not for me at all. Just going back to Duke's lack of time to play games, can I just mention, I've just had a quick look on his profile on Steam. He has put in 2,127 hours on Rocket League.
Yeah.
Just
left it on.
that time he hasn't got to play games is spent.
I
a
haven't
lot
put
of
that time in
playing
any
games.
game.
Ever. He's put 128 hours onto Starbound.
That's ridiculous.
128 hours. On
All right, let's
Starbound.
not go through his fucking list again.
Anyway, Duke has a lot of time. He just chooses not to play games with
he's
that.
just
He
careful what he
plays
does
one
with
game.
it. That's all.
Yeah, he just
Right.
plays one game.
Blah blah blah. Fucking
Right, spin the
blah.
wheel. Spin
Oh,
the fucking wheel.
shit,
And the fact he's not here and we're still talking about the one game that he plays.
Yeah, no. Shut up. Spin the wheel. No more Rocket League talk. Spin the wheel.
Okay. Da 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 da. Stu.
Right, I'm going to start with the Playdate game I played this week. Because Chinny was away doing other shit.
Yeah.
So I decided I didn't decide. I was told I had to stream, so I just did it. So I said I'd stream and decided to stream Celeste because I played that game quite a while ago now, and I really liked it, but it's really difficult. But I thought it'd be quite cool for people to see how bad I was at it.
I
Which
wish
is
I'd
pretty
watched
much
this.
what
That would've been
happened.
quite good. Yeah.
Which is pretty much what happened. Yeah, streaming was fine, by the way. No
Good
issues this
stuff.
time.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at you streaming king.
I know. It was on YouTube. I did the transitioning. I did the,
What?
way to
Fuck.
go
Welcome
live.
to 2013, motherfucker.
I know. I've got my second screen going here so I could see
Shit.
chat. But yeah, played Celeste. You know what? I started from the beginning again because I thought there ain't no way I'll be able to play from where I was. And also, people who are seeing you might not have seen the game before, so it's probably cooler to see it from the beginning.
Yeah, all those 6 people.
Although, see, look, people watched, so whatever, Trevor. So the bit that I've linked to in the show notes is the bit where I got stuck for about 30 minutes on the same bit.
Oh, okay.
Fifth level?
Is it what, sorry?
Fifth level?
No, is it bollocks? I ain't that good. I was still on level 2, level 1, level 2, might be level 2, I think it is. It's a bit where the bad Madeleines come after you. So
that
it's
is hard though. That is hard. That
right,
bit.
and the very final bit of it where it's
For a
it's kind
child.
of- yeah, for me because I'm shit at games like this. It took honestly, I was on this bit. I bet it was a good 20 to 30 minutes, and it's that final bit. You get to that final bit, you're like, I'm gonna do it, and then you like do something like that you've just seen where I like whack myself in the ceiling, and I'm like,
So
bollocks.
these
Oh,
other
man, I love this game.
Madeleines are copying what you do. And
They do. So
if they
one,
catch
you
you
can,
up-
yeah, but you can actually slow down a bit because if you do stupid stuff, they have to do it as well. So if you
Right.
like do some weird jump, obviously it delays them when they're chasing you. But it's so cool when you get it right, and that's the weird thing about this game.
It is a good one to stream. To be fair, I'm just watching you play it now. It's pretty cool. Like having someone else be bad at it, and just as bad as I was, because it's not easy. I mean, I don't know how many. It was something like thousands of deaths at the end. By the time you finish the game, it is just ridiculous.
What's weird, right? Because obviously I played it before. The first level, I had way less deaths than I did obviously the first time playing it.
It's not that
But-
weird, Stu, to be honest.
Well, it kind of is because
No.
it's over a year ago.
No.
It's not like it's recently. But
It's-
weirdly, I think I had more deaths doing this bit than I did the first time I did it. I think I did it a lot quicker the first time around.
When did
Well,
this come
also,
out?
you're under pressure with people watching.
This was
so
last year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, it was on. I think
Yeah.
it was one of my games of the year. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
it feels like ages ago that I played this.
yeah, it is. It is a long time.
But it is amazing when you get it. And I particularly love this level, where you can whiz through these, like, I always think they're like jelly. Like,
Yeah.
And I love it because it's just such a brilliant animation. The way it happens, it's like, whoa. And they always make
Okay,
a weird noise.
Okay, I take it back. It's terrible watching somebody else play it. 'Cause it's like,
It
I
is
could
once
have
you've
done
seen
this.
me do
Don't
this
do
about.
that! Oh, what are you doing?
I know, yeah.
Maybe
Well,
I
what
should
it
play
can-
it next week and then just,
Well, it's
and just blitz it.
Yeah, you should do, Chinny. I think you'd love this. What's funny is how you do learn by dying a lot because you're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I know.
That
Yeah,
isn't
that-
evidenced by this video.
Shut up, it is. If you notice, I started doing this angle thing through that jelly block sometimes. I'm like, oh yeah, if I get it right, it looks cool. But then get it wrong, not so cool.
So you didn't just give up and try and get someone else to do it for you.
No, I do not, right? I
Oh,
kept on.
man.
Do you know, at one point, I thought if no one was watching, I'd have stopped playing. Right? And then I'm like, people are watching, I've got to get to the end of this level. I've got to do this. So I
Dude.
just literally kept on going.
I want to punch you in the face, man. This is really doing my head in.
I know. I was so terrible at it. Oh, God, it's just them stupid mistakes.
It's okay. Everyone's this bad. Everyone's this bad.
Not really. I know. Do you know? So here's the funny thing, right? I streamed for about 2.5 hours playing this, and I literally got to the end of level 2. And I've looked on speedrunners, and the best speedrunners can complete the whole game in about 30 minutes.
Of course. Speedrunners are fucking
That's what
ridiculous.
speedrunners do.
They're just
Well, this
insane.
is-
It's in the
Why,
name.
don't
I'm doing
compare
it
yourself
over
to speedrunners.
Shut
It's
up.
like running down the road and just like looking at Usain Bolt's time and going, fucking hell.
That's true. But here's the funny thing, right? Well, it's not really funny, but this
No.
level that
None of this show is really.
You actually succeed at this yet? Just tell me, Stu. Do you actually
I
ever
do
do this?
succeed. Yeah, I
Okay,
do
good.
succeed in the end.
I mean,
And
so
I'm-
far, you haven't got as far as you did on the first go.
Yeah, shut up. But I do get there eventually. But here's the interesting thing, right? If you did this first time, it would take probably about 10 seconds.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah.
it would take to do it in one go. Took me 30 minutes.
I'm guessing you didn't go for the strawberry.
No, did I bollocks? Is like I actually got quite a few more strawberries again than I did the first time around.
I couldn't
Uh,
stop trying for them. I'm a nightmare.
I mean,
Like,
that
just-
one
just
there,
finish
you're
the
like,
video level.
if you're gonna go for that when you've got all them chasing you constantly, it's like you're having a laugh. I just wanted to get to the end of this. But yeah, needless to say, this game is still really cool. You know what I mean? As shit as I am at it, right, which is pretty shit.
Yep.
I still like it though. I still love the animations are great. It looks great. The music's great. It's just
the instant restart is there's
Oh.
nothing like it.
Also, controls-wise, it's spot on.
Oh yeah. I mean, you fuck up because you fuck up. You don't fuck up because the game's mean to you. You fuck up because you make a mistake, like I've done many times.
You actually succeeded there, and then you just stopped.
I know. I don't know. I'm just terrible at it. But I did get there in the end. I did get there. I did get to the point where I was getting a bit fatigued. You know, when you get to the point where you're like, I'm just not going to do this now because I've had so many goes at it. At this point here, you can see it looks like I'm having a rest. I stopped for a minute just to go, right, I've got to do this, psych myself up for the next run at it. But yeah, it's about Chinny. I honestly think you would love this.
Yeah, I probably would.
I think you would. I don't remember pausing for quite that long, I must admit. But who knows? Maybe I did. Maybe I fell asleep at that point.
Probably.
Don't know. Yeah,
Punching
no,
yourself in the face. That's what I'd have done at this point.
maybe I was doing that. Maybe I was just going, right, this is a one. And I know it wasn't, but maybe it was. Maybe it was. Maybe this is the one.
This is
Maybe
great
this
for
is
audio
the-
podcasting. Isn't it?
I'm watching myself now thinking, was this the one where I did it? Nope. Guess not.
People who aren't watching on Twitch, yeah, just imagine someone failing again and again and again and again and again
No,
and
that's when
again.
people disappeared. I think
Okay.
they were like, I've had enough to watching this. There was someone who stayed all the way to the end to see me actually complete it. So, you know, it wasn't all
You
bad.
need that kind of support.
I think it was Taffman. It was Taffman who stopped right up until the end.
Is he part of the Samaritans?
I think I could have done with the Samaritan. I could have done with the Samaritans at this point. I'm stalling for time now to see if I actually do it.
No,
Can you
no.
not fast forward it or something?
Yeah, fast forward. I did do it. I did.
I'll save
honestly
you
do it.
time. There you go.
But yeah, it's an awesome game, really is, and I am going to go back and play it again because I just loved it. I love a bit of Celeste, although I'm shit at it. There's nothing like the feeling when you do a really difficult part. You know, when you sort of get through it and you get to the next screen, and you know you're not going to have to go back and do it again. You're like, yes. But yeah, totally recommend it. If anyone has, you know, if anyone wants one of those like Super Meat Boy style games that hard as nails, this is probably the game. And if you didn't pick it up
I think
last
this
year,
is the bit you do it here. So
have you got the bit? Have you got the bit where I do it?
I think so.
It couldn't be that far away, I don't think, from where you were.
Yeah. No, it was about 20 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
just-
We're not just watching it. You got to talk, you fucking
I know.
div.
Sorry, I was going to say. I think the interesting thing about this is though, when you do finally do it, you could see I was really calm on that little last time I did it. You know, when I actually did it without any problems at all. That final little bit. And I do feel like it's like, and not only do you feel like you've achieved something by doing it, but you also feel this massive sense of relief that you've got it over with. You know, that you've actually succeeded and done it, and you're like, thank God for that I'm not going to have to go through all that again. But yeah, amazing game. Like I say, totally recommend it. And like you say, getting the strawberries is like a game within a game.
Yeah.
Because, you know, some of those bits where the strawberries are, there's nothing else in those little bits of level. It literally is just go and get a strawberry from that little room. And it's that almost like trying to figure out the route. You know, like,
Yeah.
you know, and sometimes then you figure it out, but then you've got to execute it. So you work out what you've got to do, but then you've got to try and do it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I like about them is you don't have to get them, and I didn't get all of them. But there's sometimes you think, right, how the hell do you do that? And like you say, you stand there and it's a puzzle. I'm going to work this out. Okay, that doesn't work. How the hell do you do this? And then you bash your head against it, and then when you work it out and you get it, like wow, that was you know, you get this little buzz. I guess it's similar to the orbs in Crackdown. It's like you get that little tingle on the back of your neck. It's like, yes, I was awesome just then, and it makes it worthwhile. But you don't have to get them, you know. And even at the start of the game, it tells you don't have to get them. It's just they're just there, you know. So
I think there's part of it's that, but also part of it if you do it with style, if you do it stylishly, you know, and you sort of, yeah.
some of them, a lot of them, you have to do it with style. There's no other way of doing it. It's just really complicated.
Yeah, and it looks so cool when you pull it off. Like, it's all one fluid movement almost, and you're like, yes. And it is that satisfaction, isn't it? And like you say, that little bit of a buzz that you did it, that you pulled it off.
So that's slightly ruined when you put it on Twitch and show all of the 50,000 times you failed.
Shut up. I've just looked, right? Whatever, at least I'm trying. I might be shit, but I'm trying. Right, anyway. Right, spin the wheel, Chinny.
Spinning. Hold on.
Spin that wheel.
Da 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 da. Oh, it's just me and Chris. Da 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 da. Oh, it's me. All right, there we go.
It's you.
It's me. So I've been playing a video game on the Nintendo Switch console.
Can I guess what it is? I bet I know what it is.
Of course, you can have a guess. You'll be wrong though.
Let me have a guess. I think you've been playing Tetris 99.
You are correct, actually. I was shocked.
Aha! I haven't looked at the show notes, by the way. That was a guess.
It doesn't matter if you have looked at the show notes. I didn't update them.
Well, there you go.
Yes, so I've been playing Tetris 99. For people that don't know, Tetris is a video game where you stack blocks and shit. If you don't know what Tetris is, then fuck off the show because you're weird. But if you do know, you're probably a human being. And Tetris 99 is Battle Royale Tetris. So you play 99 other people at the same time. And what you quickly realise is how shit you are at Tetris. Because what happens is if you get combinations of lines, so if you get more than one line, that's that's an attack. It's Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine is the same. Puyo Puyo is the same. Where you basically you get combinations of lines and you fuck over somebody else. In traditional sort of games, it was like 2-player and you fuck over the other person. But in Battle Royale Tetris, you can kind of tell. You can literally like put your cursor on who you want to attack, or with the right stick, you can attack people that are almost dead, which is really annoying. So the worse you're doing, the more likely somebody's going to attack you, because there's an option to knock people out that are very, very close to dying. You can choose random, so you just randomly pick who you're going to attack. Attackers, so people that are attacking lots of people, or people with badges, so people that are like quite leveled up. So that's quite cool. I only started playing it today. It's a free-to-play game. It's basically Tetris. There's not like when you played Tetris Effect recently, didn't you, Stu?
I did. That game's amazing.
You know, I suppose Tetris Effect does like a cooler job. Tetris Effect has these cool special effects and all this, and it's a bit trippy and it's a bit weird. Whereas
A lot more relaxing.
a lot more relaxing. Tetris 99 isn't really like that. Tetris 99 is just it's very, very simple graphically. It's very sort of like it's functional Tetris. But it's I wouldn't say it's not polished or anything like that. It just sort of does what it needs to do.
I'm watching
Royale.
this now,
it's cool.
and I love the fact that you've got these mini screens of everybody
So
else's game
that's
going
cool.
on.
So you can see your game. Your game's obviously in the middle, but the cool thing is that you can see everybody else playing at the same time in very, very tiny screens around you. And as you can see on the for the viewers, there's a line going from the bottom of your Tetris grid to a random somebody else's random game, and that means that basically means you're attacking that person, right? You don't know who that person is, but like I said, with the right stick, you can attack people who are very aggressive. You can attack people who are nearly dead, and yeah, you know when you're nearly dead, it's very, very unlikely that you're going to win, because people probably have it's low hanging fruit, isn't it, to kill people off that are almost dead. And it just makes you realise how shit you are at Tetris. But I tell you, the thing that it's done for me, and I've only been playing it for about a day, but the thing that it's done for me is maybe a better Tetris player, right? Because I you know, you play Tetris, and everybody who hasn't played Tetris, and you have your sort of way of doing things, but as soon as it's a live game,
as soon as you have to go fast.
Yeah, as soon as you have to go fast and you have to get lines, you get smart very quickly. So I suppose you sort of learn because of the pressure of it. And I honestly, the first 10, 15 minutes of it, I was like, I don't think I'm going to play this that much, because I'm just bad at Tetris. And I gave it a couple more goes, and I was, you do get better. You do see sort of like an increase of your skill. And I suppose, because you learn by losing, really.
Watching this is making me miss Super Puzzle Fighter a lot.
Yeah, Super Puzzle. Yeah, Tetris has taken on many forms, and I suppose a Battle Royale Tetris is one of the weirdest sort of size genres we've got.
We talked about this on our show, and I think Chris made the joke that what's the next Battle Royale Solitaire, and we had a look, and that already exists. Yeah,
on Switch already.
Yeah,
so I've been playing randomly. I've been playing Puyo Puyo Tetris on Vita this week. The Japanese version.
Yeah.
And that the problem I always have with the Puyo Puyo and with Dr. Robotnik is that when you're always playing against somebody, aren't you? And then when they get them, they dump it on from the top of your screen. So with that, you're just sort of working with what you're trying to put together, and then all of a sudden you get a shower of shit coming down, and it blocks up places where you're planning to go and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
With Tetris 99, it fills up from the bottom underneath. So although it does fuck you a bit because it's making you closer to the top, it doesn't fuck up what you're trying to do with your shapes, and that is much better for me. And that was the bit of a killer for me for Puyo Puyo and Dr. Robotnik. It was just I didn't enjoy that because no matter how well I plan, some fucker's just going to dump a load of grey blocks on top of my stuff.
I suppose it works.
And you lose the rhythm, and that's not fun to me. Whereas this, at least you're still working with what you got. And okay, you're going to get shafted, but
yeah, I mean, and sometimes you do. You're like, sometimes you're playing away, and then you'll just get like fucking 10 rows of garbage. I think it's officially called garbage, like tiles, whatever, or blocks. and you just get like 10 rows of them, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, and maybe two people attacked you at once, or it's very sort of odd. I'm not quite sure how it works right now.
So let me get this straight. So as you get rid of lines, that puts those lines at the bottom of other people's play areas. Is that how this works?
I think so. I'm not
Yeah,
100%
yeah.
sure. Yeah, I think so. And like,
But then
So
also
those
you get
grey
these
blocks that
power-ups
are
where you can
appearing are
target-
someone else's lines that they've gotten rid of.
yeah,
Yeah.
But you're also by targeting other people and specifically sending them to specific people, you get more and more power-ups. So the further through like somebody was saying, you can get to the top 10 very easily just by playing Tetris normally, but to actually win at this game, you have to play the game. You've got to target specific people to kill them off, and see people that are good, kill them off with the special attacks, and that is the only way to actually win, because you've got to use those power-ups.
The thing I always
Otherwise,
loved
it's not
about
possible.
Super Puzzle Fighter, which is highlighting for me, is like, because obviously in this, when you're adding lines to everyone else, you just have the grey blocks. Whereas Super Puzzle Fighter, because you're actually picking characters and you basically had special moves, which was the pattern of the blocks that you applied onto the other players.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was a cool trick, and so that could have been
Clever.
quite good in this.
I must admit, I was watching some guy play this today, or two people playing it, who were just incredible.
oh yeah.
And it was almost like someone had speeded up the video. You know, they were laying blocks down that quickly. You could barely keep up with how they were doing it.
I watched the best Tetris player in the world a few weeks back randomly. It came up in my feed and I just watched it and I was like, man, that's ridiculous. Because I think the person who was best at it just got his throne taken off him by some young kid, for the first time in years.
It's just ridiculous, though, because they're dropping the blocks that quickly. Because obviously they see so far ahead where they need to put them. They're not even, they're almost like on autopilot.
Yeah.
Just like slamming these
But
blocks down.
You find that. I mean, a lot of games are like that. You know, Celeste is the same in some ways. Like your brain goes into this ridiculous mode where you're doing stuff that you can't even tell how you're doing it, and you just are. And
can't comprehend the speeds that you're working stuff out.
The brain works quicker than you can actually realize. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
So the other thing I suppose I haven't really mentioned is you can hold a piece. So if a piece comes down that you don't like, you can press the left bumper, and it will hold that piece and bring the next one. But and then you can bring that back that piece.
See, it's a lot of things to think about, and that's an additional mechanic that for a normal Tetris player is like that's one too many things to worry about. But once you get used to it, like that's the sort of thing that's going to be make or break the entire game, isn't it? You need to use those things.
Yeah,
I would love to play it. I haven't paid for the Switch subscription yet. I mean, this maybe, or it's almost worth it now.
I think for to talk about that, I mean, you need to be paying £20 a year for the Nintendo Online thing. And
is this game not free to play?
It is, but to play any game online on the Switch, you have to buy the Nintendo Online.
Yeah,
and this is only online. So.
This is only online.
Yeah.
So
so you have no choice,
so
basically.
when you think about it like that, I mean, Nintendo for the first time have made it quite attractive for someone to plunk down £20. Like,
it's a very clever thing to do.
They're not that
change.
savvy with this kind of mentality, right? I've never really saw them do this before.
This is a PR marketing thing.
This is a Nintendo first. Yeah, it's
Although,
like
it's a bit of a failure at the same time, though, because unlike all of the other platforms, generally if it's a free-to-play game, you don't actually have to pay for your subscription in order to play it.
Yeah, well, Nintendo does what Nintendo wants.
Yeah.
It's their platform, it's their rules.
The only game that have got to make you play online is a free-to-play one that you should probably
isn't that a good way of doing it though? Like,
I agree.
They could have looked at the numbers and gone, no one's fucking buying this. Let's fucking bang a free Tetris game on there that everybody's gonna love. And all of us, and it's worth. I'd say it's worth £20. Like it's a decent little game. Everybody loves Tetris. It's a different spin on it. And you look at it like
retro games, get them free retro games.
Yeah, if you get all those free retro games, some of them are okay. But like I'd say it's worth like plonking down £20. I know you're not really paying £20 for this game alone, but it's a decent value, I think. And maybe this is a sign of things to come. If they do more of this stuff where they do little bite-sized games that you can only play online, I'd be up for that. That's.
Well, they have talked about sort of upgrading and doing different versions of their online subscription for enthusiasts or whatever they called it. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what sort of schemes they come up with. And I'm probably just going to hang back and see how it plays out before I decide. And I don't have enough time to play all the games I've already got, so I don't need more Switch games. So.
No, I mean, for me,
this is quite cool.
For me, like I already bought the Nintendo Online thing, and I was a little bit underwhelmed when I bought it. I was a bit like, oh, this is wank. So for me, I'm like, oh, I'm really pleased with that. That I bought that now, because I probably would have bought it for this. I suppose there's no try before you buy though. That's the only downfall to it. But like, I'm a happy customer. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, hey, this is all right. If they do one of these every 6 months, I'll be all right.
You're also not that bad at Tetris, just from watching this.
This isn't him.
This is not me.
This is not you.
Okay.
This is not me.
Let me ask you out of interest. What was the highest ranking you got?
I think I got. I could tell you actually. I got my Switch here. Let's have a look. I don't know if it tells you. Oh, communication errors occurred. Oh no.
Oh yeah, the great
Stats.
piece of hardware you've got there.
Check out my stats. Doesn't tell you. All clears.
Cover the dead air. Cover the dead air.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah,
Oh my god.
It's all good. He's still talking. It's good.
Well, it just tells you how many lines you've got. It tells you I've had 50 single lines, 25 doubles, 5 triples. Tetrises, is that when you get all the... Yeah, that's 4, I think, isn't it?
Tetriminos? Tetringos.
Total lines.
Yeah, whatever they are.
Max combos. T-spins. T-spin doubles. I don't know. Back-to-backs. All clears.
You knew there was all these things that you did in Tetris.
Total holds. It doesn't really tell... Oh, okay. Highest place, 33.
Oh, that's not too terrible.
No, that's not bad. It's difficult.
You know,
Way to make it sound worse.
almost more or less a top third, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean-
It's difficult. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it looks difficult. I mean, the thing is, some of the people who will be playing this will be just like fucking wizards at Tetris, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely. But
And
yeah,
that's the trouble.
no, I'm pleased with it. Tetris 99 is all right. Not too bad. So if you've got Nintendo Online, give it a go.
Yeah, great idea. Really, really good. Right, which leaves us with Chris. We don't even need to spin the wheel.
We do not.
Oh, that's what I was looking forward to. Anyway, yes, with Shitting Baby, and also this week, one of our builders, he was cutting up some plastic pipework for me with a massive circular saw, and I didn't realise quite how hot this plastic would be after he'd cut it, and I put my thumb in it, this molten plastic, and I've got...
Why?
I've
Why
got a
would you
blister.
put your thumb in molten plastic?
Because I didn't know it was molten. I just gone
No,
to
but
pick
why
up
did
this...
you put your thumb in it anyway?
Because I went to pick up this piece of plastic pipework, thinking, oh, I'll just move that out of the way. And
All
as
right,
my
okay.
thumb just seared itself into this, and I got a blister like the size of, I don't know, a massive fucking blister on my thumb, right in the middle of my thumb, which is like on the face
it's a
button.
gaming injury,
It's
Chris.
disgusting.
Oh,
I send you a
no.
picture. I actually decided to get this. pass out
Is
for
this
today.
going to be like the shit picture? It's like, no one believes me. I'm going to send you a picture of
I
how
will
bad
do
my
that.
blister
If
is.
you want to see it, I'll send it to you. It's minging. But anyway, that has limited me a little bit, which is
You
why
need
I
to
was
send
playing
it to me on
for
WhatsApp,
Tetris.
Chris.
Sorry.
If you send it to me on WhatsApp, I can get it on the stream.
Okay.
Yeah, send
okay.
it to Ginny on WhatsApp. Let's have a look at this.
I like that Stu didn't realise you were trying to pick it up and just thinks that you randomly go around sticking your thumb in stuff.
Well, that's what he said. I stuck my thumb into molten plastic. So what
Yeah,
am I
so-
meant to think?
That has sort of made things a bit more difficult this week. But that's why I was playing Tetris, because you only need like one button to turn it over. But yeah, I have played other stuff just before that happened. So yeah, I played some more Hollow Knight, but I'm not getting very far with that. So I'm not going to give up on it. It's just I just need to find a bit more time. There was a game that was announced during the Nintendo Direct the other day called Daemon X Machina, which there's a demo came up. They announced that during the Direct. Oh, there's a demo up. Go get it. So that was that, and there was Yoshi's Island as well. Well, not Yoshi's Island, the new Yoshi game, Yoshi's Crafted World.
There's a
So
demo
I-
came out for that one, though.
Yes, yeah, the demo of that came out as well. So I played that, and I played this. Did you play it then? Because you were going to play the Yoshi game, weren't you, Jenny?
I was,
play it?
and then I did not.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I loved all the other Yoshi games. Woolly World was excellent, and the original SNES one, fantastic. This one just didn't sit right with me. I don't know. It wasn't really a platform game anymore. It was like more like they've just added loads of things. You know, like genuinely know, like on the Mario maps where you're sort of moving around on the overworld.
Yeah.
It kind of like the game is kind of like that. You're sort of moving into the background and into the foreground, and like doing all these little tasks that get you to do. And it's cute and cool and everything, but there wasn't really sort of skilled platforming levels, which is what I go to those games for. Like, it's not quite. I mean, it's just one level, so it might be that they do lots of other cool stuff in the game, and I've no doubt they will. But it was just, I was just really disappointed by it. Like, that was the demo that's trying to sell me on the game. That was it. Basically, I was convinced. Yeah, I was convinced I was going to want to get it, and now I'm just not too sure. So, see how the reviews go with that. But that's not really, didn't really play it for long. It's only like 10 minutes, isn't it? But this other game called Daemon X Machina is a third-person mech game, kind of. It's very Japanese, and yeah, you're in this huge. It's kind of like an RPG. You create your character. You spend like 20 minutes changing their eye color or whatever, and then changing what hair they have and what their underwear and their bra color is. But then you just. Yeah,
and then they get inside a mech and you never see
I was just going to say, you never see the character.
No, you don't. You control them in third person in like the base. So you're wandering around the base, like just doing all the things that you have to do, like upgrading and these sorts of things, and choosing your missions and speaking to people. But it's a pretty rad looking game. So yeah, you're flying around and sliding around on the ground, sort of Vanquish style, and it's got auto lock targeting with rockets and all sorts of weapons and stuff. But it's the Switch, so they've gone for a specific art style to sort of hide the fact that the Switch can't deal with quite a lot of this stuff. But I think it's a cool art style, and it manages to sort of run really slick. There's a lot going on in this game, and I was pretty impressed by it. It's only one level, and yeah, a lot like all these sorts of games. It's like, yeah, there's an enemy over here, go over to here and kill this guy, and but yeah, there's some tactics to it, and it's as I say, it's very Japanese. You might not like it if you don't like those sorts of things, but racist. But yeah, it's but yeah, I think you get like swords and stuff. You got footage up of you, Jenny? You probably have.
I have, yes. I've got the trailer.
Yeah,
the trailer's giving me an epileptic fit.
I like the look of this.
Of course you do.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
It looks like a cool anime.
It does
film.
have a cool style. I'll give it that.
It does. It reminds me of like the ridiculous bits out of Metal Gear Solid and things like that, where there's so much crazy shit happening.
This has got to be the first time on the Veteran Gamers, Chenny, that you're kind of outnumbered by us non-video game racists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those Japanese game
It's
lovers.
true. But also, equally, it's nice to have people on the show that like Nintendo stuff.
That's true.
Yeah. To be fair, that being said, I got a lot of grief over my views of Devil May Cry 5 demo. So,
yeah, you did on Twitter.
I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I
you
did.
got a lot of
People
hate
were
on
not
Twitter.
happy.
You know you're in trouble when on Twitter somebody called DMC5 fucking bum lover, right?
Yeah.
You know that person is going to take probably not a liking to you.
Umbrage.
Yeah.
Dante's hair is white 45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
suck off Dante.
And when I looked at his profile, like, every
101.
picture was like Devil May Cry
Yeah.
5.
This young kid, he's like, I can't wait for Devil May Cry 5. I'm gonna look at the hashtag Devil May Cry 5 and see all the nice things that people are saying about it. Fuck!
She was like, "There's food and you can't pick it up.
Ah,
No,
you
it's
can't
alright."
fucking
It's
pick
like,
the screen up.
Get to it, because the screen won't
Can't even
load.
freaking get to it because the camera was dragging me back.
Unplayable. What the fuck?
What was quite funny was someone else had put, yeah, well, if it wasn't for Devil May Cry, there wouldn't be any Bayonetta, right? And I was like, well, it doesn't mean I can't like it better. What's the matter
Yeah.
with you?
Did you say like, oh, you should check out my Celeste stream and you'll see how good at games I am? It's not my fault.
Yeah, it's not my fault that Devil May Cry
Yeah,
5
if you want to see a
shit.
pro game, I'll watch my play.
To be honest, to be honest, I was going to talk about it next, but I played the Devil May Cry demo,
So,
and
what do you think
I
then?
pretty much completely agreed with you.
Oh, good. Good, I
Oh.
feel vindicated.
This is why I don't like having you on the show, Robin, because you can't
I mean,
He's so much like you, isn't he, Chinny?
you
He's so
can't
much
be
like you.
agreeing with Stu. That's not what we do on this show, right?
it's relatively rare, and I didn't expect it to happen. I assumed it was just you being shit at it, but
Yeah.
he's right. I mean, the camera is a bit iffy. The controls
I know, Robin,
don't
I
feel very
know,
good.
but you can't agree with Stu. Cause
Shut
he'll
up,
just-
Yeah.
shut up, Chidi. Let him speak.
For me, I think the worst thing is it just feels like you're not really attacking the enemy. Doesn't feel like there's any kind of connection when you're hitting them.
Yeah, it's just felt a bit weird. And it just felt old fashioned. I don't know why. And everyone's like, it looks amazing. What are you talking about? And I'm like, it just feels old. It feels stuck in an era somewhere.
Like Crackdown, you mean?
Yeah.
Well,
That turned out okay.
Well, you get a lot of the old Japanese stuff right from the off, where you got to create your own, like create a save file and all this extra stuff. The way they do the menus is very old
S-rank.
Japanese. Not just that actually, but it's, I suppose if it's ranking you for the like battles and stuff, you expect the like actual battle mechanics to be much more, or like actually feel good, and they just didn't.
No. And everyone's going, oh, well, it's the same control scheme as 3 and 4. And I'm like, yeah, old fashioned.
I remembered them being better than that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sort
do.
of comparing it to some of the older ones, and certainly, I mean, the main thing I'm comparing it to is DMC, which I just thought was much better.
Yeah, but that different developer, you see, they had their own ideas on stuff.
True, but I mean, it does. It feels like they're taking elements from DMC, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. It just felt the camera. I felt like I was fighting with it all the time. And then someone would put, oh, well, you can change all that in the menus. Why? Why should I go in the menus?
I went into the menu to zoom it out further, so the camera's further away from. I think it's Nero you're playing as in the demo.
Yeah.
And obviously, yeah, you can play as different characters throughout the game. As far as I'm aware, there's like 3 different characters, so they might play differently, but. Yeah, I think just the fact that just the like weapon contact just didn't feel very good. Sort of makes me slightly worried. It's not going to be that great.
Oh,
I don't know.
dear.
I mean, I could be totally wrong, and everyone's going, "This is an old demo. They've updated it since then. This isn't like the
So
final."
they shouldn't have
build."
released it then.
I know. But it is funny when you get a fanboy because they're just so obsessed and like, "What are you going on about? You're wrong. What's the matter with you?" But yeah, I just wasn't feeling it, and I did play through it 3 times, so I gave it a good go, just to see if it was me, and I did get slightly better, and it didn't feel quite as clunky towards the end of the 3rd playthrough, but I don't know, it just feels old.
There's a bit coming up in this gameplay that we're watching here, where he comes across a telephone box, and he goes in there, rings it, and then his like female friend in a van shows up, which didn't make any sense because right at the beginning you got out of the van because the van couldn't go any further.
Yeah, and then she comes around the corner anyway, to where you've just had to battle through against these enemies that didn't feel very creative. I don't know.
Might as well just stayed in the van.
Yeah, but I'm amazed at how much attention it got on Twitter. It was quite funny. It did get a lot of attention.
There's a lot of people been waiting a long time for this. Probably all the ones who cried about DMC.
Yeah, it's not by Capcom. It's not the right game. What amazes me is this is the same engine they use as they did for Resident Evil 7, but that game to me looks infinitely better. And maybe it's just the art style. I don't know.
It's a different kind of game as well, isn't it?
I guess it just, I don't know, everything about it, just like the animations, it just, I don't know, it just rubbed me up the wrong way. I was just like, no, I don't like this game.
Don't do that, Stu.
I know.
I mean, obviously this part there's like a boss fight at the end of the demo, and
there is.
It just doesn't really feel like you're hitting it.
No, and it's weird because you have to keep on like latching onto its back and pulling yourself onto it, and then hitting it. But you're right. I don't know whether there wasn't haptic feedback in the controller. I can't remember. Whether that was the issue. It's just, I don't know. Just didn't like it. Just didn't like it at all.
You got God of War to contend with these days for the 3rd-person action games like this, and
feels so good
to meet that, haven't you?
Yeah, and that feels so great, when you're playing it. But it just doesn't feel great when you're playing it.
I mean, I remember them previously, like when you pull the guns out and you're just firing loads of bullets, but this one's actually quite slow, and obviously that might be different for the different characters you play, but that felt a bit rubbish as well.
Yeah, and I don't particularly like all the and I'm guessing this is the same as the old games, but all the combat being on one button. but you've just got to pause at different times to do different combos and stuff.
Also, one of the things I noticed, which I thought was kind of weird, but I might have just missed it in the controls, but was there a dodge button?
Yes, but I can't remember how he did it now. There was some way of dodging. I do remember being able to dodge.
I used to
Because
just
he does,
roll
he
there.
does a roll. I think I had a look at the control scheme to work it out.
Because I was looking in there and I didn't see anything. I could have just
Yeah, there
completely
definitely
missed
is, because he does like a side roll.
it.
But
How
I
the hell
can't-
do you make it so complicated? Yeah, he's doing it now. How do you make a game that complicated? Because these days, because it's like first-person shooters. You like people come up with the control scheme. You don't need to change it, dude. It's like stick with it. The character's not doing anything different to all the other games that play.
Well,
like this.
apparently that's what this is. This is the control scheme from 3 and 4. Apparently,
Oh.
that's how he did his combat. But I
Get
don't
it from decent games then.
Yeah, and I think that's part of my issue. It just, like I said, it just didn't do it for me at all.
Well.
And everyone's going, "No, what about the breaker? Well, you've got breakers. You didn't have breakers before. That's a different thing."
It might be different. The thing is, I did play DMC4. Don't remember anything about it.
No.
I played it as well,
Yeah.
and I thought, why am
Well,
I
I
going
got-
through halfway through the
I
game?
got to the halfway point, then realised I was going to have to do it all again in backwards, and I was like, can't be bothered.
I finished it. I don't know why.
I know you did, because you're a crazy person.
Could I?
I mean, it was-
Izzy?
It was only when I finished it, and it was only when they started talking about it. Like I had completely forgotten that there was another character other than Dante. That was Nero, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the days when I used to finish games before I went old.
I know, yeah,
Oh,
before
back
you
in
were
the
old.
day. Remember those days, Robin?
Remember those
Okay.
days? Right, let's start it again. Spin the wheel, Chinny.
Oh, you can't just spring that shit on me like that. There's the whole
Gotta
thing, and then
do
I
it.
gotta stop that,
Do
and then
it.
I gotta
Spin
load
the
this.
wheel.
I'm gonna get the thing, and then the fucking Patrick gif comes up. Right, spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
It's you, Stuart.
Right. Well, I am going to talk about the big game that I've been playing this week, which is mostly what I've been playing, to be honest, which is Metro Exodus.
Ooh.
And I'm well into the second area already, which is quite a few hours of game, I have to say.
So obviously you finished God of War, so that's good. Anyway.
No, I've had bollocks.
You idiot.
As if. Right, okay. It's a lot like a Fallout game.
Right.
It really is.
Which
Because
So it's an
Fallout
open world RPG.
not really.
So it's not
It
like a
kinda-
Fallout game, then, is it?
It's halfway. No, it's a janky mess.
Ah.
So that's how it's a lot like
Damn.
a Fallout game. Also, it's like a post-apocalyptic setting as such.
Setting is Fallout. The janky mess is like Fallout.
It is. It is.
It's pretty
a
linear,
lot
though,
like-
isn't it? The game.
Yes and no.
It is.
Because you have linear sections and then open world It's a bit like Rage in that respect.
All right.
So you have these, but there's more to do in the open areas.
Okay.
So you sort of, the first area you get to is like in the winter and just on the outskirts of Moscow.
Yeah.
And it's quite a big area. It's a big open area. I like the way they've implemented side quests in this, which are just question marks, and there's not very many of them. There's 3, but they're all linked to the main story. So there's not the side quests, but they're optional, but they're actually still part of the story you're doing.
One of the characters is called Duke.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
One of the characters is called Duke. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Apart from the jankiness, and there's a lot of jank going on.
What's junk about it?
I had an enemy like moonwalking in midair about 20 feet above me.
Maybe that's what he's meant to do.
I've had the flyy beast things. There's like these beasts. I don't know what they're called, but they look like fly beasts with big leathery wings. I shot one of those today with like an incendiary round, and it set on fire, and then just stopped in midair on fire.
Yeah.
Went out and then just stayed there.
Maybe that's what it was meant to do.
I shot another one, which then proceeded to fly around in a loop, landing on the ground, and just going up again. Obviously, not attacking me anymore.
Maybe that was what it's meant to do.
Yeah, none of this stuff's supposed to happen. But
No.
again, like a Fallout game, it sort of doesn't matter.
No.
And there's also something else, right? And I know I'm being really picky here, right? But you're on a train traveling from area to area.
Right.
So when you complete an area, you get back on the train, go to the map, and then it takes you to the next area. But in the meantime, it's just trundling along on a track. So I thought, I wonder how much effort they put into this scenery, you know, like when you're trundling
Right.
along.
Yeah.
It's
So
on about probably a 2-minute loop. So
So-
to have to,
You watched it for 2 minutes.
yes. So I stood at the front of the train just to see if it was on a loop and how long the loop was. and
This
it was
is
the-
why you don't finish anything, Stu.
You wanted to see if it was on a loop.
Yeah, because I
You
assumed
thought they
well,
were
I
just
didn't
genuinely
loop it.
like just generated infinite.
Well, I
landscape.
thought I didn't know whether they do some sort of random generation of scenery or something, or some cool trick like that, so it always looked different when you looked out, you know, on the track. But
I imagine,
no,
I imagine they didn't think that anyone would be dull enough to check.
You're joking. We're gamers. We do stuff like that. That's what we do. We want to sort of see if you want to see if you can kill the friendlies, don't you? We experiment. We want to find stuff out. We're curious. But yeah, I didn't have to wait long. Like I said, it was only about 2 minutes, so it wasn't like I was stood there for about half an hour just to see.
It was only 2 hours of loopage.
No, yeah, 2 hours of looping stuff. But right, that all aside, I love it. I love the mission structure. I love the way that stuff happens. The AI's a bit jank. They get stuck on scenery and stuff quite a lot. Do stupid stuff. Sometimes they'll just walk completely straight past you as though you're not even there.
Is it
So
worth playing Last Light? I played Metro 2033. Is it worth playing Last Light?
I like Last Light. It's a good game.
That's my question also.
I finished 2033 this week.
Yeah.
That's a janky mess as well, to be
I
fair.
was going to say, have they fixed some of the issues from that? Because like one of the issues I had is quite often I would completely lose track of what it was I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I remember
And there was
doing that. Yeah.
no way of finding out. There was nothing to tell you what the missions were.
No, no, you're having this, and I think it's in Last Light as well. You have like a clipboard, so it has the map on one side, and then your journals on the flip side of it. And obviously,
there was
on
quite
your
a big gap between 2033 and Last Light, wasn't there? 2033 is
Yeah.
pretty old at this point. I know Last Light is as well, but it was a good 5 years or so, wasn't it? I'm sure it was quite a.
Well, let's
Quite an old
find
game
out,
now.
Christopher.
That's brilliant, isn't it? I just put the podcast on hold for a minute.
Yeah, and I was saying on Bosswave that I think there was one part where I actually got it completed relatively quickly because I think I remembered you having the same issue.
Oh, the
Steve.
chandelier.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I was looking for. I nearly failed. I nearly got to an unfinishable game at that point.
I'd completely forgotten you talking about it, but then as soon as I came across the area, suddenly it popped into my head, so I didn't actually have any problems with it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had the
and I
same
remember
as
at
well.
the time the problem with that at the time though, because up until that, you'd done it sort of once right near the beginning of the game, something similar. So by the time I got to that section, I'd completely forgotten that you could shoot stuff on the ceiling or whatever.
I mean, there's a few things in the game where it just doesn't tell you properly what you're supposed to be doing, and it's
No.
things that you've never done before, so you've kind of got no idea.
So Metro 2033 came out in 2010, so 9 years ago. Metro Last Light came out in 2013.
Oh, it's only 3 years then in between.
But
I
like
thought it was a bit
between Last Light and this one, it's been 6 years.
I mean, let's get to some positives. It looks gorgeous. I mean, the
Gorgeous.
scenery,
It looks gorgeous. I
it
mean,
looks amazing.
it's totally
I mean,
in right now.
Yeah, the detail in some of the sort of
Oh.
environments just look lovely.
To
really
die
nice.
for, just to die
To
for.
die for. Lovely. I was doing a section today though, right? And you know where you get twins in games or very
Yeah.
similar or the same character model over and over
Fucking
again as an
hell.
enemy?
What was that game?
Well-
What was Rise? Rise
Oh yeah.
was a game where you just
Worse.
basically fought clones.
It was worse than that. I did a
Oh.
section of the game today, and it was literally every enemy was identical.
Yeah.
I'm sure
We're
I had an
all
issue with
very
that in
the
The
same.
Witcher.
All wearing the same hat.
Yeah, The
Well, there were
Witcher does
hundreds of
it.
them.
The Witcher does it.
Every
It
game
was-
does.
the main problem with Witcher I think it was The
See,
Witcher 3 where they
Robin-
reused an actual fairly main character. They reused it again.
As soon as we attacked the Witcher, Stu said, every game does it though. Every
Every game does do it, but it's to a greater or lesser extent.
fuck off.
And this today, no, I'm not kidding you, right? It was the worst I've ever seen. There was just like must have been about of the same character on screen at the same time.
Yeah, the other thing that annoyed me about The Witcher, right, is
It's fans.
right, is like when you walk past like certain people because you have to go through a town all the time. It says the same shit all the time. It goes, I can't believe we fucking got away with that thing. And you're like, every fucking. They've got nothing else to talk about, these pricks.
Video games. there's
Witcher 3
things like
fans
that.
are exactly like Devil May Cry fans, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Insufferable twats.
Witcher 3 fans are worse than Devil May Cry fans.
They are. Right, whatever. So, so it looks gorgeous. There's some cloning issues with characters, which was just a bit
Well,
weird.
it's not a big deal because Witcher doesn't it, so
Yeah, every game does it. Every game does it.
every game. does it.
But there's some weird things that just bug me, right? Yeah, like in this train, you get this train, obviously, eventually, what you're on, or a similar one to it. Same layout. And there's a dude who sorts out all your weaponry and goes like, look, upgrade your weapon for you. Look, I've made a weapons bench for you here on the train. And then we get a new carriage. So I go to where the weapons bench should be, and it's not there anymore. I'm like, where's the weapons bench gone? And they've moved it into the carriage. I'm like, why?
Is it
Why
on
do you move
wheels?
it?
Maybe
Yeah,
it's on wheels.
obviously. It just disappears like it were never there. I'm like, it's just weird. Why don't you just make another one and have two?
Are you
Why do we
playing?
have to get rid of the first one?
Are you playing?
Hang on a minute. A
this-
second ago, you were annoyed with them cloning stuff.
I know. Well, I know. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that would
Are
have
you
been
playing
fine,
this
but-
in their native language?
I am. Now, there's another weird thing. The way they do the subtitles,
Why?
they scroll upwards,
Oh, okay.
which is a bit weird because
No.
you know when you're trying to look at them and think, have I read that bit already? And then it scrolls up and you're like, whose bit's that now? And it's really confusing.
Just imagine you
Is-
saying that out loud.
Yeah, I'm like,
Is it more obvious? Because when I was playing 2033, I initially put it on like Russian language and English subtitles, but I just constantly would just ignore everything that they said,
that
and I
happens.
wasn't reading the subtitles. And then even when I put it back to English, I still quite often completely ignored everything they said.
Yeah. I've had that, not so much with the main story bits, I take notice, but if there's some incidental character talking, sometimes I'm like, oh, what did he just say? I don't know, I never read it.
I don't know what it was. It was just really hard to focus on.
Yeah, it's in red as well. The writing's in red. Now, maybe you can change that in the settings, and I just haven't looked.
It's orange.
That's the trouble. My problem is these days, like that could be enough for me to switch me off on a game. All it takes is them to fuck some like subtitles up in a stupid way. Like, why can't I change this? This is something that should be able to change. And if you can't, I'm like, fuck it. Fuck you, game. I'm playing something else.
The
Like,
subtitles
yeah.
in this doesn't scroll.
Yeah, it does when you get a lot. So when there's a
Ah.
lot of people talking, it sort of starts scrolling up. Now, maybe I can swap that. I need to go into the settings.
Oh
and have
no,
a
it
look.
does scroll. Yeah, it is scrolling.
And it's just weird. And I'm just like, whoa. And it's like, who just
Yeah.
said something?
That is weird. Yeah.
It's jumping
It's
around. That's
one
not-
of the things I mean, I don't often say nice things about Red Dead, but the most recent one, I think you had a couple of options with the subtitles. One of which I think initially you'd just get the normal subtitles, but you could also set it so that it actually added the person's name on there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this does that, so you know who's
They
talking.
took 17 years to make that game, Robin. Of course they'd think of that.
17 years.
Yeah, I mean, I assumed all of that time was spent on the 17-year-long animations.
It
Yeah.
is, it's true. It's
Wow.
true. But that being said, it looks gorgeous. The combat's brilliant. I love the guns. I love the different guns you can get, and the way you
I
can,
love the gun.
and the way that they can be adapted. So I started off with a pistol, which is now like a mini sniper rifle, which is well cool. It's only got a 4x zoom, but it's really powerful. So I love that little gun.
You could do that in the first game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of the stuff that you could do in the early games that you can do now, but it's just cool that you can do all this kind of stuff. They've added in crafting, but in a very simplistic way.
Right. Is
So-
crafting in the other games?
Yes.
No, is there? I couldn't remember.
Well, you could take your weapons and like add extra bits onto them, so
Yeah,
you get
no,
a
this
pistol
you-
and stick extra stuff.
No, this you have to craft your ammo and stuff like that. So like different ammos and like you can craft like gas filters and you can repair your mask and all that sort of stuff. So they've expanded on that, but they've still kept it very simple. There's only 2 components that you ever pick up, which you get off pretty much every enemy that you kill in every box that you find, and you just need a certain amount of each of those to do it. So that's all you need.
Mm.
So if you come across a weapon with something new on it, it does a good job of highlighting it because it's in orange. Like if you've not got that attachment on any of your weapons, and then you can just remove it.
Are they being a bit more generous with ammo?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm playing on easy, and not because of not because I'm a pussy. I don't want a challenge, but load times are horrific in this game. So if you do happen to get killed, you can be waiting upwards of probably 2 minutes for it to reload. At one point, it took that long. I thought the game had sort of frozen or glitched out or something. I'm like, oh my God, it's frozen. I'm going to have to restart. And then eventually it just loaded. And I'm like, what the... And I think it's because they're loading in these massive areas in one go. So I don't know how it's handling the assets or whatever, but there's obviously something going on in the background that takes a long time.
What are you playing this on?
PS4 Pro.
PS4 Pro, okay.
So you assume it won't be, but I believe the PC is just as bad. Right. So if you do happen to get killed, it's worse if you completely shut down the game and start it up again. It takes forever to restart. But yeah, but other than that, I haven't died that much playing on easy, so that's quite good. There's lots of ammo around and stuff, so that's been fine. So I haven't died a lot, but there's still stuff that's been a little bit challenging, but not really. But I'm liking the story. I like the open environments. I like how they've implemented the story missions. Like you say you don't have a clear idea of what you're meant to do next. With this, you get an X on the map, but it's not the best map in the world. So you have like a compass on your wrist that points to your next objective. And you can consult the map to check you're going in the right direction and look at your compass. But like the little question mark side missions, you can't highlight them to go to one of those first. You have to just look on the map and make your way in that direction to find it.
Yeah, I think they had the compass in the first game, but it didn't work particularly that well.
No, this is fine again, but it's not the best because it doesn't give you up or down if it's on a higher floor than you're on or a lower floor.
The game crashed on the playthrough. Wow.
Yeah, it's very, very glitchy.
Yeah,
it's very glitchy. Like I say, I've not had anything as bad as Antonio. Bless him. He had a save glitch on his Xbox One X, which sent him back 4 hours.
Oh God.
So he lost 4 hours of game.
I think I just quit video games.
Yeah, he lost 4 hours. And it's one of these games that, like the earlier previous two, they still haven't implemented multiple save points. So it literally is a quick save and an auto save, and that is it. So there is you can't go back to a previous save if something goes wrong or anything. You've literally only got one save at any one time.
Wow.
So yeah, it's pretty harsh in that respect. But yeah, otherwise it's pretty good. I know I sound like I'm being a bit negative about it, but I actually am really enjoying it. It looks gorgeous, and like I say, the combat's pretty cool, and the missions. It does steal a little bit from Rage. In Rage where you went into like a level and it was like a maze, but then you would always end up back at where you started.
Like every dungeon, Skyrim.
Like every dungeon, that's kind of what it does. There's always a door you can't get through at the beginning of the level that you go into. And then eventually you'll come out of that door when you finish.
I always found that annoying. Like, no one's been in this dungeon for 1,000 years, and there's there's a cave on the inside.
I always love it in games like Uncharted, where like it's supposed to be like this amazing like place that no one's ever found, and then you somehow manage to come out into some kind of, or you go through the whole thing and then just come out into some open area. Saying there was a massively elaborate thing to get in through the entrance, but the exit, pretty much anyone could have gone in there. It's just a hole.
Yeah, no problems. Just had to be there. But yeah, I recommend it. I think it's had a couple of patches already, I think. So, yeah, keep on patching, people. Hopefully it might be fine after a bit. But yeah, there's a lot. I feel like playing it that they could have maybe done with a bit more time to polish it. But, that's part of its charm. I'll sort of excuse
Seems to be a common complaint nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Get it out the door. We want some money. People have put their life and soul into this, but we just want the cash. Give us the cash.
Cash
is king.
All right, that's enough about Metro Splectadus, whatever it's called.
It's good, but glitchy.
Yeah, we got that. You said that the last 4 hours.
Did I mention how good it was though?
Yes.
Right. Anyway, spin the wheel.
Right, spinning the wheel of death. Who's gonna go next? It's Chris.
Okay. I have been playing more Spyro the Dragon Reignited Trilogy on the PS4. I played through the first game, 100%ed it, I think. Yeah. 120%ed it is what you get. And man, these games are addictive. In the same way everyone's talking about Crackdown, this is Spyro is my Crackdown. I'm like hunting for these gems. It's ridiculous.
Right.
Started the second game and have.
Or is it just like an up-resed?
Oh yeah. It's just they're just up-res versions.
Yeah, like you said, just like Crackdown.
Sick burn from the Robin. Yeah.
Oh wow, it's super. It's very pretty, isn't it?
They are great games, and I know you never really played them, did you, Jenny?
I never played Spyro.
You played and I think they get a bit of a bad rap, and like I was someone said the other day they thought that the gameplay of these games actually holds up better than the Crash games does. They don't feel as dated.
Yeah.
And I 100% agree. I mean, I think these games are brilliant. I think they really do stand up today. These remasters, I guess, have done a just spot on job of making.
So I'm looking at this now. Is this exactly how it animated? Is it literally just the graphics that have been made prettier?
Yeah. I mean, well, no, it's smoother. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the same way they did to the Crash ones, they did adjust a lot of the stuff. They tweaked it, make it feel a bit smoother. But all in all, the games are what they were then. You know, they're the identical levels. Everything's as it was. They've added some additional sort of achievement type things in there that weren't in the original games, which are quite good fun. Specific things in each level to find, but man, they're just so addictive and just so much fun. Like just constantly just trying to find these gems, and the levels are just so elaborate, and you just constantly like, well, I'm missing 100 gems from this level. I've not seen it, and you're like you're scouring the landscape trying to find. Oh, there's a cave up there. How the fuck do I get to that? And then you try and find like somewhere to leap from and glide around in a huge circle to land in the cave, and there's hidden stuff. So there's just loads and loads of hidden things in all the levels. I mean, Insomniac just know how to make good levels, I think. And yeah, the first game was pretty much straight shooting, you running around doing the same thing. There were other characters in it, but it wasn't really that much to it. Whereas the second game, they sort of added other characters which you interacted with. They're all voiced. They were always voiced in the original one as well. But each of the levels you go into, there'll be all these little creatures depending wherever you are. And I mean, the worlds are beautiful, like all these ice caverns through to like holiday beaches and all sorts, and anything in between. But yeah, there's the second one introduced the different characters that sort of give you different things. Like there's the cheetah guy that teaches you how to do certain things, and you'll meet them out in the levels, and they'll help you do things, or like, give me 500 gems and I'll lend you my skateboard, and off you go on your skateboard. And I think the second game added quite a few different sort of a lot more mini games to it to make it a bit more interesting.
Also, as Chinny is currently demonstrating on the YouTube video, that the original looked like ass.
The original looks like dog shit. And like the new one looks like a fucking Pixar movie.
It does, yeah. It plays like one too. Like the animations in between the cutscenes and stuff are great. There aren't that many cutscenes, but yeah, the whole thing is just properly smooth and really good fun to play. And yeah, I've properly got. I'm not a big sort of achievement or trophy hunter person, but the game itself makes me want to do these things. And like, man, I've got 499 gems. Where have I missed it? Fucking hell! And you can. And the good thing about these games is that you can be right across the map, and the gem that you're after can be, as long as you're in eyesight of it, there'll be a slight sparkle. So you do get a good visual clue. But they just design so many cool things into these games. So many different things to collect and do. And I hate that in most games. Like, I'm not a big fan of just adding in things to collect for the sake of it. But this does it in such a way, I think, that is really enjoyable. There's like for completing levels, you get these one thing. There's within each level, there's about 3 or 4 of these spheres, whatever, orbs or something you have to collect. Often there by solving puzzles or doing challenges, or like you play a game of ice hockey against these massive ice hockey dudes in the snow place, and you win one. That sort of thing. But yeah, it just mixes it up, and then you've got the flying levels, which is a bit shit and weird. Random that you can fly just in these flying levels, but normally all you can do is glide. But yeah,
You know what? Every time I thought of Spyro in my head, I always thought it was just a flying level game. Like I thought.
No.
So I must have watched it or seen only that bit, and thought that's what Spyro is. I'm never touching that.
I mean, this game is pretty cheap. You get all three, and I think you get it for like 20 quid now. I mean,
Is it on everything?
Yeah, I think it
I
is.
think it is. I think it's on
Yeah.
Switch, isn't it?
It's coming to
and-
Switch.
Oh, it's
I think,
coming to
yeah,
Switch.
it's been leaked. To
Yeah,
Switch,
I'd
think.
probably. I wouldn't mind playing it on the Xbox. Like the thing about the Switch.
Man,
is,
they're really fun. Even if you buy it, play a bit of it. If it's not your sort of thing, it's not your sort of thing. Take it down the smelly shop. But I just find it's just like I can have a big shit-eating grin on my face the whole time. Like I couldn't stop playing it till I 100%ed it. It's weird. I'm absolutely hate that sort of thing normally, but it's just something about this game that makes you want to try and find stuff.
Sweet.
So yeah, very very good. And
Spyro.
The second
Who knew?
one,
I mean, Katie was very excited for this, wasn't she?
yes. Oh yeah, she's been playing it loads. She's been streaming it quite a bit. But yeah, so this guy at the moment, he's Moneybags, I think his name is, and he's sort of throughout the levels, and he'll be like, yeah, if you can give me 200 gems, I'll create a bridge here for you, Spyro. Or I'll teach you how to swim underwater, and all these sorts of things. Or you can, if you give me this money, you can climb a ladder. So the second game adds almost Metroidvania bits to it. So you'll right at the start of the game, you'll see bits that you can't get to, and then later on you get new powers that means you can get to them. So yeah, it does a lot, and I think it's just really cool. It's fun. So
Sweet.
worth a try if it even vaguely tickles your fancy.
Yeah, it does tickle
There
my
you
fancy
go.
a little bit. Yeah.
Right, spin the wheel, Chinny. Spin that
Sparrow.
wheel.
Sparrow. Right. Okay. Bear with. Hang on. Right, who's left in the spinny wheel thing? Oh, it's me and Robin. Oh, it's
You and
exciting
Robin.
stuff. And who's it going to be? It's going to be me. Yay. So what have I been playing? Let me think. Think. I've been playing Captain Toad Treasure Track.
Yeah.
Tractor.
You buy it?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, just in the demo.
No.
Oh,
Oh.
I stole it
stole it.
from a work colleague. I was in Leeds the weekend gone, and
That goes with stealing stuff.
yes, exactly. And I learned how to
Did you leave
steal.
the switch up on bricks?
No, just, this guy just said, "This is how you steal stuff, mate." And no, I basically I had to stop in a hotel for 3 nights. Very exciting stuff to do some training all over the weekend. And I was like, oh, what am I going to do about video games? So I said to Jamie, I was like, oh, Jamie I work with, and he's like, you have Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Lend it to me, because I am your boss, and you need to do what I say.
I told you.
And he said, yes.
Master.
Yes. So I did. So he did, and tracker thing. Yeah, and it's very good. I'll very briefly go over what it is. It's a fucking, because you don't know, do you, Stu?
Not a clue.
Not a clue. So it's made by
What are you talking about?
it's made by a company that used to do sex hotels.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Nintendo. They used to do that. True story. Look it up. So Nintendo have made this, and it was originally for the Wii U, and I think there's mini levels in the old Mario 3D World, wasn't it? Does anybody know that? Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ask me. I've no
Yeah.
clue.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a mini game in another Mario game, and then Nintendo went, this is pretty good. Let's put this as its own game, and which that happened. And you play as Toad, and you're a little fat bastard with a rucksack, and you can't jump. So that's your thing. You can't jump because you're a little fat little mushroom. So that then sort of limits you in like, it gives you an idea. It's like, it's not a traditional Mario game. It's pretty much like you get this little what do they call it? Like diorama. That's it. That's the word. Thank you, Chris. Diarrhea. You get a little diorama of a level, so it's just like a little board game, really. And you get to move the little Toad dude around, and every map ends with a star. So the aim of the map is to get a little star. And every map has 3 diamonds on it, so there's like they're usually hidden. And there's usually like every map is different, but it has like a collect 70 coins or find the golden mushroom. So there's a little mini mission in every map. And then when you finish the map, you can do the Pixel Toad challenge, where there's a little pixel prick Toad, and you just have to find him before the time runs out. And then when you find him, you tap on the screen to say that you got him. So basically every level has some cool stuff to do, and it's very different. The levels are very, very varied, and it's a puzzle game, but it's not that difficult of a puzzle game. You know what I mean? It's a piss easy puzzle game for babies, which I like.
No,
I played the demo of it, and it felt really simple.
It is.
That put me off buying it.
It gets way more complicated.
It probably
does.
It
gets way more interesting the more you play. I've finished it on Wii U.
Yeah. I got to a level where like piranha plants were coming out the fucking walls or something. In fact, yeah, there you go. I've got to bits where like there's different levels, and the bottom level there's a water, and then the top level there's land and there's pipes. So it's definitely getting more complicated, but it's really light. You know, when I say it's a puzzle game, it's not that massively like difficult. Like there might be certain tricky bits, but you can pretty much play the game and not struggle too much. But like,
I think the game, there's a joy in trying to find those gems, isn't there? Because like you say, there's the 3 gems hidden, and you can just get straight to the start and finish the level, or you can try and explore the entire level try and find where the things are.
I think you've got to get the gems to unlock levels, haven't you? Like the gems or the currency.
Certain amounts. You haven't got to get them all.
No. And the way I started playing this game was like, I'm gonna play every level again and again and again until I've finished everything in it. But I've stopped doing that now because it kind of gets boring playing the same level over and over again. So what I've started to do was like, I just go through a level, get as many gems as I can, and if I don't find them all, I just sort of move on until the game says, "Hey, find more gems, you fucking prick."
Like it does.
Yeah, like it does. Oh, thanks to this gameplay, I've now found a mushroom that I never found on this level. So there you go. Yes, so it's cool. Like I really like it. I think it's really, really well done, really well made. Nice, light fun, and I'm definitely gonna finish it. It's you know, you don't have to turn your brain on full whack to play it. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like quite relaxing, and you can't say that about many games these days. That it's quite relaxing.
No. It's relaxing, and in the same way, like you're solving puzzles, but it makes you feel clever, especially when you find some of them things are hidden in the level quite well.
And you're like, no one found this but me.
Switch a series of switches, and then you manage to find it. Oh, here's the piranha one you were talking about. Yeah, but like I think that makes you feel clever. Even like you say, maybe you can play it and get to the end, but when you do it, it's enjoyable and it gives you that buzz, and it's not stressful. And I think that there's something to be said for that, to be able to sort of sit down and play something. The mechanics work really well. It looks really nice. It's got really good music and just sort of a nice mellow experience. And yeah, that there's sometimes that's all you want from a game. It doesn't have to be taxing your brain. And I get fed up when puzzles are too complicated these days. I used to love puzzle platformers. That was quite a sort of genre that I was quite into. But now, like, they're too complicated. Like I tried the Swapper, and like, oh, this is just, it's great, but
they're way too smart.
Within about an hour, it's too complicated, and I'm like, I can't do this. It's making me feel like a dick. All right, maybe I am, but And so to play something like this, where it gives you a constant drip feed of, it's slightly more complicated, but it doesn't overdo it, and it doesn't outstay its
No.
welcome, and it doesn't piss you off. And that's a good game for me. It's something that I can
Yeah.
sit down and not get pissed off with these days.
Yeah, it's true. It's just weirdly sort of quite mellow, really, and nice to play. Like the levels are really pretty. Toad is a little funny fat bastard, and it's good.
The level designs are also just, they do remind me of Mario games in some ways. There's
Yeah,
always
yeah,
things.
definitely.
The Toad.
Yeah, bloody Toad. But yeah, there you go.
It's
That's
very colourful.
there's boss fights as well, which is also nice.
Yeah,
and they're well
yeah,
done.
those are good. Some of those are really good.
Yeah, it's all good. So I'm very, very impressed with Captain Treasure Tracker Toad, and we'll
You're
keep
liking
playing
the
it.
Switch, aren't you?
Yeah, I do like the
Yeah.
Switch.
I might have to
Very
get this
nice.
again, even though I've already got it on the Wii U. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, don't get it.
Everything's
again,
better on the
Chris.
Switch.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Chris, do you use a Switch a lot?
I almost solely use the Switch.
Wow.
Other than Spyro recently, like I find it really difficult to find make the effort to switch the PS4 on. I have the Switch, and I sit and play it, and the commander's watching TV, or I switch it on in bed, or I switch it on anywhere and everywhere. I can just it's already the game's already going. I can just take it upstairs, finish it, carry it downstairs, carry on. I very rarely put it on the TV. I know Rob puts his on the TV quite a lot, but I just don't bother. I played the whole of Zelda all the way through on the handheld.
Yeah, I
and
don't play it on
love
the
it.
TV very often, to be honest.
I've got. I mean, if I had the time for the TV, I'm going to play the PS4, and if
That's
I
how I
haven't,
feel.
I'll
Yeah, that's how
I use the
feel.
Switch. But there's something to be said. That's the whole point of the Switch is that you could, carry it on the TV when you got the TV available. But I find that the screen is so good on it, and it's such a decent
Yeah.
size. I'm absolutely happy
Like,
playing it on there.
The Switch for me is like a great console where I'm stuck in a hotel. Do you know what I mean? Like I've took it to a couple of like things where I've had to stay in a hotel. Next weekend actually, or this weekend, I'm working again this weekend, and I'll be taking my Switch. But when I'm at home and I've got video game time and I've got my Xbox there, I'm gonna be playing that. So
I suppose the main thing I've been playing on it had been Zelda, so I was playing that on TV mostly.
I played that mostly on the thing.
There you go.
Anyway, Robin, you're next.
Yeah, Rob.
I've
Yeah,
just
Rob.
today
Yeah,
finished a game called The Spectrum Retreat.
Oh my god.
Ooh, I'd like to go there. Sounds like a great sort of throwback. 48K, yeah.
And,
Is
not
that
quite.
where 007 goes for his holidays?
What?
The Spectrum Retreat? It sounds like somewhere where a spy would go for the holidays.
Yeah, that joke didn't land there, Stu.
I know, yeah, it was shit. I thought, I don't know.
Chinny's
Anyway.
warned you about trying to be funny, hasn't he?
I know, I thought it was a good joke. It seemed good in my head anyway.
Yes, it always does.
That's where the problem lies.
Whatever.
Let's try this. Hey, Robin,
Yes.
is
Tim.
that where James Bond goes on his holidays?
Yeah, brilliant.
See?
Are you thinking of Spectre, Stu?
That's what I mean. Spectre, Spectrum,
It was
sounds
a
good.
stretch.
Close. All right, got you.
It was a stretch.
Got you. Yeah,
Should've.
sorry, it helped to make that connection.
Yeah. If
So it's a puzzle game.
if the person who's been received the joke, Stu, has to do
Yeah.
a lot of effort, then they
To
ain't
work
gonna-
it out.
they're not
I
going to
get
get
you,
there,
I get
Stu.
you. I get you.
You know.
Yeah, okay.
This
Whatever.
looks weird.
It does look like where 007 would go on his holidays.
Robin, just carry on talking about the
There's a tuxedo, for God's sake. What's the matter with you?
So it's a puzzle game.
It's a puzzle game.
Um,
So
it's-
at the
well,
moment, I'm looking at somebody's
work out
trapped
to
in a
make it safe.
hotel bedroom.
Yeah, I mean, there's a sort of surrounding story to it. So, yeah, you start off kind of trapped in a hotel bedroom, and then you have to wander
Chip.
around doing a bit of busy work almost.
It's a very nice hotel.
Yeah, each sort of day you start here and you kind of have to repeat what you're doing, and then it sort of alters slightly. There's a lot of wandering around really long corridors for no apparent reason.
Oh, this is
Um,
Stuart's
great.
kind of game.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like the look of this.
But then the idea is you're supposed to like progress further up the hotel, and so at some point it'll have a little bit at the beginning where it sort of has a bit more story, and then it'll send you into this kind of, it almost looks like a more kind of VR room or something like that, where you're just doing more standard puzzles, and it feels a bit more like something like Portal.
I must admit, I like the
environment as well.
I like the Art Deco styling. It looks very cool.
It looks like a shit version of PT with nothing happens.
Yeah.
yeah.
Certainly that part of it. I don't know if you move on, it ends up in this kind of like Portal style world, doing puzzles.
Oh
but
wow, yeah, it does. Fucking hell.
Without an interesting portal gun. Instead, pretty much all the puzzle mechanic is you like selecting a color, and then you can then use that color to get through doors of that color, and then it tries to up the mechanic a couple of times because it's not particularly very interesting. Like in later levels, it has to keep adding extra things to it. One of my favorite things with things like Portal and especially The Witness, when you've got a mechanic that's so simple but you can reuse it because they're quite clever with how they can extend it. In this, they sort of can't, so they just have to keep adding new mechanics and making it sort of unnecessarily more complicated.
Right.
I mean, it's not too bad, but it's just it sort of pales in comparison as when you compare it to things like Portal and especially The Witness. I feel like The Witness has ruined me for all of the puzzle games.
Wow. Yeah, that made my head hurt.
Oh, I need to go back to The Witness.
I don't think you can go back to The Witness. I think you'd have to start.
I think I have to restart it. Yeah.
It's not one of those sorts of games because it teaches you as you go along, doesn't it?
I was considering restarting it again recently, but I think I did everything in that, and it's not gonna have the same effect. I think from the first time you play it.
Do you wish you could wipe your memory and play it again?
I genuinely do.
Yeah.
That is definitely my game of this generation so far.
Wow.
There you go. That's a big
mental
claim right there. That is. Oh, blimey.
But this one's shit.
Well, it's not that bad, but it's not amazing. There's no overly skill based thing in these. Like one of the things I loved about The Witness is very simple puzzles because the difficulty was always in how you figure out how to solve them. The actual solving is just on a tiny little grid, whereas this you got more wandering around doing stuff, but it's not like things like Portal and things like that where you can fail it through lack of skill, and then you're having to redo the whole thing and it takes forever because you got to start from scratch. There are occasional times when you get that, and it is a bit frustrating having to redo the whole thing again.
I'm watching this game right now, and it's just selecting red and white on blocks.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, they extend that further on, later on in the game, so you can do different things with it, like walking across platforms of the same color, and then you can like teleport to the same color in different places and things like that. But it's still not. It's not interesting enough to make these puzzle sections more fun.
It literally looks like Portal with the fun removed.
Yeah, it
looks so sterile.
With the fun sucked out of it.
At no point while playing it did I feel like with Portal or The Witness where you'll feel like you're really clever because you solved it.
Yeah.
You don't really get that.
There's a lot of these games like the Turing test. There's that, and there's quite a few of these games that I keep thinking maybe I need to go and play more of these Portal type games, but I don't know. It's not the same.
Problem is none of them are as good. Like I tried the Telos Principle.
Yeah, I started that. I got a bit of the way through that and got bored.
Some of the levels and that
hard as well. Though.
Yeah, the mechanic wasn't as fun, and it got really irritating when it's one of those things where when you know what you've got to do, but then you've got to arse around actually doing it, and it takes
I felt like I was trying to fudge the game by like just doing something like brute forcing it rather than elegantly solving it.
I mean, despite how much I love The Witness, Braid had that similar problem where like you might know what you've got to do, but you've actually got to then do it, and it might not necessarily be working.
Fuck Braid.
Yeah, fuck Braid.
Fuck that game.
Jonathan, blow my dick.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he made The Witness as well, which is apparently amazing according to Rob.
Okay.
It is.
I'll
That's
blow his
funny.
dick.
That's funny that you forgot that he made what a fucking oh yeah, he did make the witness.
Yeah, oh yeah, he made The Witness too. Who knew? By the way, Chinny, you can play The Witness. That is on my Steam list.
Yeah, I know.
review.
I've got it on the Xbox as well. And
I think it was on your.
Did you buy that?
As well,
That's funny.
no, I didn't buy it. I just I had it. I don't know how I have. You don't buy games in 2019. You
No one
acquire
buys
them.
games.
You just
No one
have
buys
them.
games.
Like I every day goes by and I get more games. I don't know how.
How
They're
did I
they're
get this
thrown
game?
at me? Because I think I've got The Witness because I share my Xbox and the person who I share my Xbox with has it. I think that's how I have The Witness. I don't know. I just felt like The Witness. I just need a day to do it. I want to do it in like one block or something.
You
Sit
would.
down
I
with
don't know
Tara
if
and
you'd be
do it,
able to do
sure.
it in one day.
No, you wouldn't.
It would be worth. Yeah, it is worth sitting with like your partner or whatever and
Camilla loved
having a
it.
go at it.
It was like that's one of the very few games she's got really invested in, and we just both really loved it for like a week and a bit, and then just fell off it for some reason. But
Yeah.
it's good stuff. Collaborative stuff with your missus.
Yeah. All right,
I
but
was like, you could like The Witness, but yeah, I don't think he's
getting
going anywhere near
Duke to
anything.
play a fucking new game is.
Yeah.
Anything other than Rocket League, you're struggling.
So the Spectrum Retreat is wank.
It's all right,
Gotcha.
but it's nothing amazing.
It's wank. Got it.
Wankety wank.
Wankety
Right.
wank. Wankety wank. Wankety wank.
Get your wankety wank. Check book and pen. Right.
The man alone in the
spinning
bedroom did a wank.
There you go.
That's
Are we
a
gonna- are we-
reference that's going to work well across the globe, isn't it?
It is. Right, we're going to spin the wheel. Are we spinning the wheel again?
Who's got games left to talk about?
Who's got anything left to talk about? I've got 2 things to talk about.
I got retro bollocks that no one wants to hear about. So
No, we don't care about your retro bollocks.
I'll just fucking spin it and see what happens.
Spin it anyway. Spin it anyway. Let's just
You know
do
what I'm
it.
saying? I ain't got fucking time for this shit. Right, Patrick's licking it, and it's me. Yay!
Go.
Right, so I played a little bit more of Arparks Largons.
Of what?
Arparks Largons.
I played a bit of this.
Stu just still doesn't know what it is.
I still don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm trying to compute what even that was.
Arparks Largons.
What?
The latest.
Arpash Lardon. What are you talking about?
Oh my god! We just shared the episode name.
What, Arpash Lardons?
Yeah. Arparks Lardons.
Oh.
Oh, I gotta remember it. Posh Lardons.
Arpash Lardons, actually.
Yeah, Apex Legends. You fucking
Oh,
flib.
Arpash Lardons, I see.
Oh, Arparks Lardons.
Oh.
So I played it a little bit more. My main problem with Arparks Lardons is
Is it just that you shitted it?
no, it's that I don't have anyone to play with.
That makes a difference. I played it the first time with no one.
Yes.
And it was a bit of a struggle. I played it with Elusive Man Mark.
Oh yeah.
It was just the two of us, so we always had a random in there with us. But just even having one other person who you can talk with, it makes it much better.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to download it on the PlayStation 4 because I know a few more people that are playing it on there. And you are, Robin, so we can play it.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So
So
I'm
I thought I'd give this a go, so I downloaded it and then went, I haven't got PlayStation Plus anymore.
oh yeah, I don't have PlayStation Plus.
Ooh, can't play
You
that.
you shouldn't need it.
Don't you?
If it's free to play a game, you shouldn't.
No, but you do.
It's
though,
not
don't you? 'Cause
Nintendo.
It's online. Yeah, but it's online, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. If it's free to play, you should be able to play it.
I'll give it a go. Well,
Well, I'll give it a go. I downloaded it and never bothered because then I realised I haven't
maybe
got PlayStation
this should be our
Plus.
Thursday game, Stu.
Maybe.
Fuck.
If we can actually play it without PlayStation Plus.
Well, who knows?
I can certainly join you. I mean, I'm shit at it, but
Yeah, so am I. But I
Because
did
you
play it.
wouldn't.
I did play it with a friend of mine, but we didn't play it with mics on But this game is so good that you don't need mics, because we did that thing that everybody does when you don't, when you know somebody in a game, and but you don't have a mic on. What do you do when you look at each other?
I don't know. The funky chicken.
You just crouch up and down.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah. Or you've
Yeah.
got some sort of emote. You do that, don't you?
No, I don't know. We just
No
crouched
one
up and down.
bothers with that.
Yeah, and so we did that, and even though we didn't talk to each other on the microphone, it was still better to play with my mate, even though I couldn't hear him, than it was to be alone, because I feel like playing this game alone is so boring. But yes, there's just lots of nice little touches that I didn't really notice the first time round. Like, for example, when you are shooting someone and you shoot their shield, there's like a crack that kind of happens, like very subtle crack noise that happens. Even things like the numbers that pop up when you shoot somebody, you can kind of calculate in your head roughly how much is left on them when you start to get a bit better. And just getting more used to the guns and the pinging system. It's a super polished game. It's really, really good. So I don't have much to say about Parks Largent, but it's great, and I think you should give it a go. Sure, I don't think it's going to be your cup of tea necessarily, like forever, but I think you'd appreciate, like playing something so well done. I mean, it's going to be the best battle royale game you're ever going to play. Certainly.
I've just checked online. You don't need PS Plus.
Booyah!
Well, that's impressive because I assumed they'd enforce that.
No, pretty much all free to play. That's why I was complaining about it with Tetris. Both Xbox and PlayStation, all free to play games. You don't need a subscription to play them.
No, that's pretty impressive. I will take it all back. The only reason I didn't think it'd work because I tried the not Apex Legends, the other one, Anthem. They did like the beta because you had to have it to do the beta, and I was like, I can't play that.
It's because it's not free to play.
No, I get that now.
Shoot,
Thanks for clarifying that, Rob.
It's not free to play.
I know.
I like. There's another class. I don't know the name. It's the black woman with short hair. Do you know what her name is, Robin?
Yeah, it begins with B, doesn't it?
I don't know, but there's two black women. One's like a health one.
And the other one's a soldier.
Yes, the soldier one. I like playing as her because she has a cool smoke grenade gun that you can just pop down, and I thought that was really useful.
Her ultimate's quite good as well.
I don't. Yeah, that's like when it's a lot of rockets that come down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like an airstrike.
It's an airstrike. You got to lob it, so there's like a limited range on it. Yeah, so I haven't really experimented much with it. I only played a couple games again this week. I haven't played much. I only played it just to talk about something, really. But it's good. It's just super polished. So I'll try and download it on the PlayStation.
There you go.
Sweet.
Down on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Right. We're running not short of time, I guess, but we should move on in a minute. I don't know whether we want to talk about any more games.
Who's got games left to talk about?
No, I've
Chris does not. Stu, you do. Robin?
Only one really that I'll talk about.
I've got one I can talk about.
Okay, I'm going to spin the fucking wheel and then take me out, take Chris out because we're boring.
Where did you get that wheel?
Fuck off. You leave my wheel alone.
Back off the wheel.
No, to be honest, it's annoying me that the tongue flicks up, but then the wheel spins the other way around.
Well, I'm sorry.
I usually listen to it just
Rob's
on
an
audio, so
animator
I've only
now.
ever noticed it just from watching it now.
Stu, you fucking go. I don't know. It's just some dumb gif.
Yeah,
I'll change the gif for you, Robin.
I played the Trials Rising beta thing that was out this weekend.
Yeah, I meant to play that. Forgot.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I'm assuming it's just a demo. I mean, why do they need beta?
I have no clue because it came out this week. So it's kind of like, let's do a beta weekend, but really it's a demo. It's good. I like it. I like it a lot. It's
So what's this? Trials Rising. Is this what is
Trials Rising.
It's more Trials.
Small Trials, but the scale's enormous. So it's sort of, I don't know. I never played the last Trials game. In fact, I haven't played one since Trials HD, which is a long time
That's
ago.
fucking ages ago.
Which is a long time ago. But yeah, it's nice. You know, it's the same. You know, these crazy courses with roller coasters and stupid stuff and metal girders that you're sitting on, and yeah, it's crazy physics and lots of deaths. It's kind of it, really.
Is
I
there
don't know what
anything?
else.
Is there anything different about it?
Not that I can tell.
Isn't there just more online stuff than there was
Yeah,
in the
I think
previous
so.
versions?
I think the creation tool is supposed to be right. It feels, I think, from what I understand, that they've gone back towards a bit more of what it used to be. The last one was all about being like set in the future and all that kind of crap.
No,
And
this
people,
is just cool.
people weren't as interested.
Right.
So
This
you
is
got
actually out
different-
on the Switch this time as well, but they've reduced the fidelity a bit, but not a lot. Apparently, it still plays as good as the.
Well,
the
this
console
game's all
version,
about
so-
the gameplay, so it being on the
Oh, yeah.
Switch isn't really like, you know, the graphics. No one cares about the fucking graphics.
It just looks cool and crazy, and it's enormous.
Cool.
And you're playing different parts of the world, so all of the backdrops are really nice.
So this,
Uh,
you said it was a demo, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It was one of these time limited for the weekend only demos.
Yeah, I like Trials. I did like Trials when it first came out, but I feel like the novelty's kind of worn off it because
Yeah,
there's just
all
a
the
point.
same.
There's too many of them, and there's just a point where like you're done with Trials.
Yeah, I was going to say, that even the first game, yeah, I played loads and loads of it and then just got to a point where it was that ridiculously difficult.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I'm done with this. Oh, look, that you can race people and there's emotes. I wonder where they're gonna.
Oh,
work
yeah,
from.
and you have loot crates, of
Oh
course.
god.
course there is.
Of course you do.
So to
Um,
me, this is the makers of Trials have gone. Hey, the world has changed. We need to put loot crates in because no one buys Trials anymore. Let's
Let's make it a fucking mobile game.
Let's make it a game where people
I
can
read
microtransaction the shit out of this.
I read a review today, and he said the whole time he was opening loot crates, he was like, I just want to play the game.
Yeah.
I just want to be racing. I don't want to be opening loot crates. I don't
Yeah.
care.
You just want to get through a track without breaking your little dude's neck.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
you
pretty
wanna
much
do.
it. And
That's
that happens a
all
lot.
that you want to do in
Of
Trials.
course. Of course, yeah. It's cool though. Like I say, I really liked it, and it's obviously got that instant restart thing. Obviously,
Yeah.
got the shadows of other players, how fast they did it.
Yeah, I like that stuff. I don't mind that stuff. That's cool. But I suppose again, I only like that really against my mates.
Yeah, against
Uh,
people you know.
because the internet is ridiculous. Like I ain't gonna compete against people on the internet. They're insane.
No, they're crazy, aren't they?
I forgot what game it was. Oh, it was Mirror's Edge, the first one, right? And I can't remember who it was, but there was somebody on my friends list that had gone through all the time trials, and my only thing throughout the whole thing was to beat that person on my friends list. That's all I cared about. So
You
Yeah.
want to you want to get pinball on the PS4 and try and beat some of Tuscan's scores.
Yeah.
no,
that's
see,
fucking
like, if they're
ridiculous.
impossible, then fuck me. And then I messaged the person who I was beating. And I was like, fucking dicked your score, and then he was like, I haven't played that game for 4 months. I'm gonna go back and play it. And, yeah, I was like, I like that stuff, but when you play randos on the internet, oh fuck that.
But it's good.
Trials.
I was impressed.
All right,
I probably won't buy it,
no
but I was kind of impressed with it. I thought, yeah, that was pretty cool.
gear crate. All right, trials. Fuck.
Yeah, you get gear crate, and then it
All
makes
right,
a
that's
weird...
enough of trials. Fuck off.
Yeah, that's it. I'm done.
Fuck trials.
Done.
Bloody gear crate.
Right, Rob, what was the other thing you wanted to talk about?
I played Cave Story Plus.
That's quite old, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's from the 90s.
the thing, yeah, it's originally like a indie. Well, it's like the indie game made by one guy, and then they've done various different newer versions. Version I got was on the Switch, and I'd never played it before. And well, word of the moment, it was put, from what I understood, it was like a Metroidvania, but from what I've played so far, it doesn't feel like that. It seems a bit more linear than that, and you got lots of like weapons and stuff. So it's just a platform game with loads of weapons. Really good soundtrack.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it was relatively niche. I'd seen its name mentioned quite a few times. It was one of those ones that like it always came up when people were talking about these kind of old school indie game,
So Cave,
Metroidvanias or whatever.
so Cave Story Plus, is it a remake of an older game, or is it a new?
Yeah, I think it's a remaster.
Right.
So I think the graphics. I mean, the graphics aren't amazing, but I think they're slightly better than the older
Yeah.
ones.
I mean,
And I think there's like if you go into the soundtrack options, there's like a bunch of different options from like the different remastered versions they've done.
I mean, like you say, it's a remaster, and it's pretty hard to to distinguish that. I find, like, I mean, it
Yeah.
looks okay, I guess, but it doesn't look
Mate,
like anything that's been remastered.
No, because I mean, I think
This is what do you mean? Look at it. It's up-resed and everything. What's the matter with you?
I think the original was so old that it probably looked even worse. But yeah, this it's on the Switch, and it was fun enough, but it does have a few issues. Like the saving is a bit of a problem, where rather than just saving it every time you go onto a new screen, you actually have to go to various different sections and actually save it. And
Right.
there was a boss I fought where I had to actually go through a whole load of them talking, and it done that thing where it slowly puts the text across the screen, and then it could take for ages.
Yeah.
And then the boss killed me, and then I had to fight him again, and had to sit through all of that text again.
Okay.
And then today I actually rage quit on it because
Robin.
You really are getting old.
yeah, it had there was a level that I kept redoing because the other thing with it, the controls aren't brilliant. The main character is really floaty, and I was trying to get through this level. I had a save point, kept going through the level, kept getting killed because there was an enemy that kept well, it wasn't even an enemy. It was just like a falling crate, and I kept getting caught out by it. So I had to go through defeating all of these monsters, and then get killed by this crate, and have to start it all over again. And then I eventually got past that, and then it immediately put me in a boss fight with no extra save file, and
Brilliant.
I had no health left, and so I got killed by the boss, and then had to do all of that again, plus having all of the stupid like text when you meet up against the boss, and it's like I can't be fucking bothered.
Yeah, but that's old school, Rob. What's the matter with you? That's what you got to do,
Yeah,
man.
but the problem
like,
with
That's
that,
what you
the
love.
problem with that though, Stu, is it's 2019.
Yeah,
I know, but people love it. People,
Fuck that
look,
shit.
I
if
did.
you put that on Reddit, they just go, "Oh, don't be such a wuss." What's the matter with you?
I
Well,
might go back to it, but not anytime soon. And at the time, I was fucking livid.
I'm looking at this and I'm like, nothing about this makes me want to play it at all.
No,
Like
it's,
I looked at Hollow Knight and I was like, hey, Hollow looks good. I don't know, it's modern mechanics, but it's Metroidvania. But this, like,
yeah.
this looks dated as fuck.
There's a bunch of different weapons that are kind of cool, actually, and the way you level up the weapons as well as you're going. You like pick up things when you're killing monsters, and that makes the weapon better. So there's a bit of a sort of shmup thing to it as well. But just, I mean, watching it, you suppose you can sort of see the amount of jumps that they fail and
Yeah.
end up falling back because you've just moved slightly and he's moved too far, and it's really
your
awkward.
character feels like he doesn't control. Well, I mean,
No.
I haven't played it, but I can kind of imagine how bad it looks.
It
and
doesn't.
feels.
The
I played this on.
shooting's quite good. It's just the movement. It's really
There's
not.
a version of this on the 3DS, which is actually completely. The graphics have been completely redone. It's 3D with backgrounds, like animated backgrounds and all sorts. It looks actually really good, but it's on the 3DS. It had some really good 3DS effects, press effects, 3DS stuff. But I couldn't be bothered as well. I played it for about 20 minutes, half an hour, and I think it was the saving and died, and it was just started to frustrate me as well. And I've got not much staying power these days. Don't tell the wife. Yeah.
There you go.
Give
Right.
up on it.
Is that it? We're gonna do some emails. We have got
Yeah,
some emails.
let's do
Yay.
some
emails.
fucking emails.
Some emails. Smeemails.
Smeemails.
Smeemails. I like that. It's good.
We haven't got a jingle.
Oh fuck! How weird is that? I'm waiting for the jingle. Waiting for the jingle. We have not got no fucking jingle
I
because
did
Duke
it.
ain't here.
Did it?
There you go. Ah, there you go. I see what you did there.
Emails.
Emails. Right, okay, we've got quite a few to get through. So I'm going to start with Peter Robson. In
Oh.
fact, we've got another one there. We've got Daz Hilton as well, haven't we?
Bloody Daz.
Daz is a very quick one. He says, hi, gents.
Hi.
A quick
All right.
message say, I'll be coming to Arcade Club and the meal afterwards, and I'm bringing my brother along. So please have 2 for the meal. See you there. Cheers, Daz.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
2 of them.
That is a party right there.
Double Daz.
There's double Daz. They're going to be very drunk, I reckon. Right, okay. Thank you for that. We'll see you there, Daz, and your brother.
Who's coming? Chris,
Yeah,
are you
good to see
coming
you.
to the meetup?
I certainly am.
Woo.
Robin, are you coming to the meetup?
I am intending to, yeah.
I am
Excellent.
intending. It's a key word, isn't it? That?
Well, I think
Yes.
I
Something
think,
better comes up until your schedule gets overbooked and you have to
Yeah,
go.
Well,
exactly.
I think we sort of decided that Chris was going to book the hotel, so there's
Am
a
I?
chance I might be pissed off and leave when he fucks it up again.
Fuck off. You do it then.
Well, he's fucked it up already because he didn't even know he was
I
doing
didn't
it.
know I was supposed to be doing it.
Well,
Anyway.
those 2 are not turning up then, so that's good.
Nope. That's good. Right, next email is from Peter Robson, and he says, Happy Galentine's Day.
Hello. Happy
It says,
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. I try not to watch negative clickbait reviews of games I'm trying to enjoy, so I listen to the Fallout feed, which helps me get the most out of Fallout 76. Each to their own, but I like it. It covers all of the Fallout games, but on a recent show, they had a Galentine's female-only edition. The first few hours delved into the finer points of whatever they were up to, etc. But the final third of the show was a discussion on gaming, including what women put up with online. It still shocks me that they get dreadful abuse in game chat, hounded out of games, or trolled to a ridiculous level, then spammed with awful pictures to email addresses, etc. It's a subject that still seems not to have been dealt with. I don't know how you do it, though. How do you deal with that, really? You know, people, they'll put a complaint in, they might get taken offline, they'll just create a new game tag and off they go. They don't, it's hard to police, isn't it?
Sterilize fuckwits.
Well, that might help. That might help, but it's not going to stop the immediate problem, is it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because these people are already born. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the internet. It's fucked, mate.
It
you can't
is.
take it. You can't put it back in the bottle, man. It's just
Yeah, and I don't know how you deal with it. I mean, they ban people all the time, don't they, for doing stuff that they shouldn't do or being abusive or whatever. But they just create a new gamer tag and carry on, don't they?
Yeah, arseholes find ways of being arseholes, and
Yeah.
you can
To a
try.
level-
You can try.
To a level,
Worth- worth trying.
it's almost sort of accepted to a degree, unfortunately, because it was decided a while ago that basically the gaming audience is young blokes, so they accept it to a certain degree, which is a shame. As well, if they can get past
Oh
that,
shit!
hopefully it'll be better.
Yeah, it is a shame. I don't ever listen live because I need interesting stuff to listen to. And as my favourite show, it's hard to keep up to topic with a show that's nearly a week old when we get it. Whatever. It's a unique.
Listeners, keep writing in about how Stu's wrong.
It doesn't
about
matter
listen-
because we don't talk about news, so who cares?
doesn't
Duke talks about Rocket League, which came out fucking
doesn't
years
matter,
ago.
Doesn't matter.
You
New
don't need to
stuff.
keep up.
I talk about new games. Fuck you.
Yeah, so do I. So whatever. Doesn't matter.
So
and-
it's
and-
contradictions.
And this week, everyone's going to be able to get on with that Trials beta, aren't they?
Exactly. But the Trials game itself's coming out, so whatever.
They'll be like, what does
it's-
Chidi think of Tetris 99? I need to know now.
It's a unique system, if nothing else. Also, on the subject of old games remastered, Stu told Chinny just to play GTA 5 if you want to see what GTA 3 would look like now, up-resed, which is it's true. It's true. I also would pick GTA 3 because we want to see what then looks like now, not what now looks like then, because it's now and we know what now looks like. Wow,
It's too late for this kind of shit.
my head is mashed.
Yeah.
Cheers, lad. Have a good week ahead, Pete.
Play the telephone
Cheers,
principle
Pete.
instead.
Fucking hell. Jesus Christ almighty, my head's spinning. Right, okay, next email's off Declan McCluskey. And he says this. Chin.
What? Oh.
I need help.
Oh.
I
Okay.
need help. I finished Red Dead 2 last week, much to my sadness.
Yeah.
I knew it had to come to an end, but
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd be left with this feeling of emptiness.
I know, mate.
it's one of the best games I've ever
It's
played.
true.
And
It's true. Don't listen
yeah,
to these pricks on this show. They
it
don't
took a
know.
few hours to get the hang of the controls, but that's it. Pacing was spot on in my opinion, and I literally have no idea what that miserable bastard Stu was complaining about when he spoke of a 9-minute ride to a mission.
Yeah.
What can I do to lessen this feeling of loss?
Well, you could play the online mode with all of those loads of people who are playing it.
Right. So we're surrounded by haters, Deck. That's the problem. And
I didn't hate it, by the way. I didn't hate it.
so I think the best thing to do, Deck, is to play something that's completely different from, for example, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, because
You mean a good game?
Robin's going to chip in with some smarts, but let's just ignore him. Don't worry about him, right? So just
To
play.
be fair, I did actually like it, but I've sort
You
of
did like it,
latched onto
actually.
this
I remember
thing, yeah.
listening to you like it. Yeah, you just like to ride the wave, right? But like I would play something that's like different. That's so far, like not Red Dead. Because if you play something very close to Red Dead straight after it, you're just going, but it ain't Red Dead, right? So I mean, you could play Crackdown 3 because that's a shit game, right? And don't say like Red Dead. Don't say like Red Dead. Don't do it, right? And Crackdown 3 is a very different game to Red Dead, whereas like, you know, when you play Red Dead, everything's very slow. It's very story based. Crackdown is like you shoot things, they explode. That's pretty much the game.
Yeah, I was thinking things like that and Spider-Man and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would say Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man is it's a very gamey game, isn't it? Spider-Man. So maybe like something like that, or something like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, or like a Metroidvania. Something so far removed from what Red Dead is, just to sort of cleanse your palate a little bit. That would be my advice.
Hey, I would have liked to go to Bury for the
Bury!
meetup, but I'm working that weekend.
Fucking hell.
Good news though, seeing as EGX has come back home, I shall definitely be attending that. So it will be great to meet the veteran gamers and their extended family there. Take care, you mothers.
There you go.
There you go. Oh, thanks, Declan. That's very kind of you.
See you
They
there,
might not
dude.
meet you though, Stu.
No, might not this year because they fucking moved it to half term. That was clever of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it is very clever, so all the kids can go.
Exactly. But there's fucking hell, that's another reason
God.
not to go.
Fuck, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
another reason not to go because it's going to be full of kids.
Yeah, but it's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
fucking
I don't
germs
care
there as
about
it
that.
is.
Yeah. It's not like it doesn't sell out every year, is it?
Well, I
Right.
don't know.
Anyway, next
so it
email's
might
off.
be the first EGX that you never go to.
It might be. It might be. Anyway, next email's off Derek Sands. He says this. It makes dollars, but don't make no sense. Hello again, veteran gamers.
Hello.
After reading about a £77,000 video game this week, I thought I'd ask you a few questions.
Okay.
I am talking about the extremely rare sealed copy of the NES game Super Mario Brothers, sold at auction in the USA for the equivalent of £77. I'm guessing the buyer is not your average gamer, if they're even a gamer at all. When a game worth runs into tens of thousands, I can't help but think video games are now considered on the same level as other art forms, paintings, books and sculptures, etc. So, what is the most you've ever paid for a video game, whether it was physical, digital, new, retro, or a special edition? So what's the most you've ever paid for a video game? You bought that stupid fucking Halo thing with a helmet
Yeah,
and
but
everything.
that was only 70 quid.
Why have you spent more than that?
No.
Oh, well, there you go. That's the most expensive one you ever bought, then, isn't it?
I know, but like I think you was expecting me to go. It was £500 or something like that. It wasn't. I think like that was kind of pre when the industry went fucking nuts on that shit.
I remember the funniest special edition I ever remember. And I can't remember which one it was, but the Call of Duty game with the night vision goggles.
Yeah.
I got that.
They're working now, and they were like, people are spying on the neighbours with the night vision goggles, looking at them getting changed.
I didn't do that, but I did buy it.
Yes, you did.
Did they work?
Yeah.
Well, that's just.
I mean, for the one time I used them, but
what did you use them for, Rob?
Trying on and looking around and realizing they didn't fit my massive head.
You say so. Right.
I bought 3 special editions. I bought that. I bought was it Modern Warfare? No, it was Black Ops that came with the
remote control
remote
car.
control car. that had the
Oh
camera
my
on it.
god.
That's just badass.
It was quite cool, which I used once and thought it was quite cool, and then never bothered with again. And then the only other one, a special edition I bought, was GTA 4 with the with like I had a
The
bunch
bag.
of things. Yeah,
Didn't you
bag
get a
was
bag?
the main
I
thing.
remember. Didn't you use the bag one year at EGX?
I use it pretty much
I
every year.
got,
It's great.
Yeah, I thought I'd
yeah,
seen you
I
with
had that bag for a long time.
Yeah, I've seen you with it.
It was mostly like things that came with it that were actually relatively useful and things that you could actually use.
It's like Duke with his lunchbox. He loves his Fallout lunchbox, doesn't he?
Like Duke's
He
lunchbox.
He
That's a
loves
show
the
title.
Duke loves his lunchbox.
He does bloody love his lunch.
Couldn't eat the whole lot.
So I've never bought a really expensive game. I think
It's 'cause
the
you're a
most I've
tight
ever paid
bastard.
is in my tight ass. I've never bought a special edition ever.
How much did you spend on that controller for Elite?
Oh, that was quite a lot.
Oh,
well, no, it
what about
wasn't
your
actually.
stupid
I can't
card
say
game?
it
What
was
about your
about
stupid
35 quid.
dancing card game thing that you never used?
What?
Well, whatever it was, where you like, well, I can't remember. It was like make your own music, and
Oh, there was DJ Hero. I bought that.
no, not that. There was another
Nah.
one that was like the specialist thing that you bought off, and I'm sure it's to do with cards as well. But you only use
Was?
like
Oh no, we played that quite a lot. What? Drop Mix.
that'd be the one. How much?
Yeah,
was
no, I
that?
didn't pay a lot for that. I only paid. I bought that from America for about 60 quid, but it should have been about 140 or something
60
ridiculous.
fucking quid.
I suppose
The
that's going to be the kicker. I mean, things like Rock Band as well.
Yeah, I was going to say it just dawned on me then when you were saying that the most expensive game I probably ever bought was Rock Band with the drum kit and 2 guitars and a
Yeah.
microphone.
Or how much did you spend on the VR headset to play Res Infinite?
Yeah, but that's not a game.
Mine was.
Oh, look,
Ni no
Kevin, Chris, and
Kuni.
Roblox. They remember
Mine
things.
Mine was
The
mine was
game,
Ni no
though,
Kuni
another
Wizards
game.
Edition.
Oh my
I bought the
God.
Wizards
the
Edition for
Wizard's
Ni no
Sleeve
Kuni
Edition,
one.
wasn't it?
Yeah, that came Wizard Sleeve Edition. That was what it was. Yeah, I think I paid about 55 quid for it. It was supposed to be 70, but I ended up with 2 of them, and I ended up selling one on. I got one for like 30 quid off eBay, and then sold it for like 60. But then like you get the drippy little cuddly toy, and then the spell book, which is really awesome. But I was a bit gutted that I'd already finished the game at that point. Because it was like the book that you have in the game, which you use for all the spells and for everything. And it's really cool, quite cool. It fits into the game really well because you have to sort of find certain specific things on specific pages to unlock things. So that was a really good one. But as I say, I got it a bit late because
I've actually remembered what probably was the most expensive because I was thinking I've never really bought a game with a peripheral, and I think the one thing I did was Killzone 3,
What?
which wasn't a very good game
you got
anyway.
move with it.
You bought
I
a
got-
3D telly, didn't you?
No, I got the PlayStation Move and like a stupid like light gun type thing attached
No.
that you could put the PlayStation Move in because I thought it could be quite cool. Like a lot of people did, it would be quite cool if you could play like a first-person shooter like a light gun game. But of course that doesn't work, and it's in the same way that you can't play it like a VR game either because it's made very specifically for the control set it's got.
I've got a move sharpshooter. It's awesome. I was playing House of the Dead with it. It's amazing.
Was those the individual little guns, or is it the thing that looks like an M16?
Individual handgun.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, the thing that looks like an M16 is fucking stupid.
I can't believe you bought that, Rob.
Used it once and it was rubbish.
I'm laughing at
So
you.
I
never
used to have
use
some
it again.
respect for you, Rob, at one point. It's all gone. It's totally gone. No
He's
respect anymore.
He's
I
got
bet-
like a
I
fake
did-
cigar. He's chewing whilst he's
I
playing.
did
going,
play all the way.
motherfuckers.
I did play all the way through the game with it, so I did use it more than your Elite controller.
Whatever.
Boo.
At least I didn't look like a dick holding a plastic machine gun.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a dick without it.
Whatever. Right. Number 2. When you bought it, did you have any buyer's remorse, Rob?
I'm right, I did. It was rubbish. To be fair, the game was rubbish without it either.
Oh my god! I honestly thought you were going to say a 3D telly to play it in 3D.
I've never
that
played
was-
any. I've got 3D tellies, but I've never played a game in 3D.
Oh,
That's funny.
What a waste.
Yeah, what a waste of a telly. Yeah, or was
The
it
telly
totally
parcel.
worth it? So I think Rock Band was totally worth it at the time.
Yeah.
I don't think I had any buyer's remorse with Rock Band. And
No.
we had one of the best New Year's Eves ever where we got everything out and all the relatives were playing and everybody just had a go. And it was just, and we were playing Rock Band The Beatles and it was awesome fun. So yeah,
Apart from you had to listen to the Beatles.
the Beatles is all right.
Setback.
Don't you diss the Beatles?
Everyone-
Right, okay. Number 3.
Beatles.
Do you have an upper limit for what you'll pay for a game these days, or is it a case of I want it now, so I'll pay whatever it takes to get it right now?
Until recently, that was 40 quid. Because generally, every game that came out, you could usually get it for under 40 quid.
Yeah.
Feels like you can't do that anymore.
No, you're lucky to get them for like under £45, more on the 50 quid now, isn't it? Really?
Mm.
Yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare. Like, that's the only reason I would buy digital for everything if it wasn't for the ridiculous prices on them. And I do. If I can wait, I will wait because they just drop so ridiculously. Like,
I certainly
So
will never buy
crazy.
any of these gold editions and platinum editions of any game.
Yeah, these things that give you the Game Pass or whatever the hell it is, or you're going to get some downloadable stuff later on or whatever.
You usually get a season pass, which is for the first season because they've now got multiple ones.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Chinny, you?
No, I
Chinny
don't
don't
really.
care. He has money falling out of his arse. He don't care. He just buys whatever he wants.
Just do
no, he
what
just
I
gets
want.
off his mates. He just borrows all his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Begs, borrows, steals.
No, I'm done with physical games now.
Yeah, you just always buy digital, don't you?
So fuck physical stuff. I'm bored
it.
of it. And
You have to get up to change games. It's
yeah,
fucking
it's
pain,
just look. I
Some
mean,
dickheads left a DVD in there or some Blu-ray or bollocks, and you've got
I
to
was-
get up and swap
this is
your
how
disc on.
lazy. This is how lazy I am, right? I was playing my Switch, and my Switch comes in a little case, and I was playing it on my desk at work, and my case is on my desk at work, right? And in the case, I've got the only physical games I've got for the Switch is Zelda and Mario Kart, right? And everything else I bought digital. So I had Mario Kart in the Switch, and I clicked Zelda to play Zelda, and it said, you got to put the game in, which is on my desk, all right, which I'm sitting at. And I went, well, fuck that, because I ain't like reaching over, getting the thing out, opening it, getting the other game out, putting that in. So I was done. I was like, no, I'm not doing
What's
that.
that clip of Jukes about? Would you expect me? You confuse me for someone who's not lazy.
Yeah,
Whatever. That clip.
yeah. It's just, I can't do that no more. I ain't doing that shit. I've never even played a game on my Xbox One X with a disc in it. I don't even know if the fucking disc drive works.
Does it work? Yeah. Does it
Yeah.
actually even work?
I
Who
don't
knows?
know. I ejected my PlayStation Pro disc drive today by accident because I don't really switch on my PlayStation very often, so I don't know where the on button is. All right, and I was,
Who turns it on with the on button? You
They're a
should
bit of a
control
fucker, those
it.
buttons.
It was even worse with the old version.
So I
the
pressed-
the Pro's a bit better.
I pressed it, and I pressed the fucking eject button, which turned it on anyway, and it Curb Your Enthusiasm DVD came out. I was like, oh,
I wondered where that was.
I don't know where that was. I don't know what that was doing in there.
Did you find it in the 90s?
Yeah. How long is that? His PlayStation Pro?
VHS
or-
tape came out of it.
My most expensive game was £72 on eBay for a mint copy of Suikoden 2 on the PS1. In the days when I was heavily into Japanese RPGs, it was the only way to play it at the time, so I was happy to play the hell out of that game for months afterwards. I did manage to sell it for £95 a year later, so I did at least get my money back. I'm sure Stu would approve. Oh, yeah. No, it's always good if you can make money on stuff. I will be quizzing again next week, which will be on the 2 speak pipes as usual. It will be based on video game titles, where I will read a slightly incorrect game title, and 1 point will be awarded for giving the correct title. For example, Halo Combat Evolution should be correctly named.
Or Half-Life Zones.
Brilliant. It sounds simple and probably will be for game experts like the veteran gamers. I'm sending the quiz to the Boss Wave and entertainers, but each quiz will have a different game. Cheers, Derek. So there you go.
Ooh.
There you go. Something to look forward to now. Okay. On writing by Jason. Number 1. Hey, veterans.
Hey.
Any personal medical problems this week? Nope.
No.
No. You two? Any personal medical problems?
Oh, the thumb thing, but we've done that.
Yeah, I've done that. It's not a medical problem, really. It's just you being a dick.
Charming.
Number 2.
Oh, I never
Ginny.
put the picture of that on the stream. I'll
No,
sort
you
that out.
didn't. Ginny, did you get anything special for Valentine's Day?
No.
No, there you go. Number 3. Why haven't you listened to P-Town? Because you know it's available on every platform now, including iTunes. You see,
Mark,
you haven't even got an excuse, have you?
Mark Anik sent them me.
Did he? To make you
So-
listen.
I think he actually found somewhere free that you could put them all up, so it's now you should
Yeah,
actually
he
be able to find them on a podcast app.
It wasn't like a time-limited thing anymore.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
I'll
look,
listen to him then.
Give it a go. I will give it a go. And then he sent a follow-up email, as Jason always does, saying, broken rules. Sorry for the extra sentence here this week, but how come Chris at Bosswave can send pics of poop and Pilchard can film Chris and Rob in a hotel room, but I get shit for dumb emails? I don't know. It's rather apt that you send that, Jason. Let's ask him. No. Any
Well, how
answers?
could I get away with it?
Yeah, apparently.
Well, why not?
How do you get away for sending pics of poop, apparently?
Well, I sent one pic of poop, and it's very, very rare. I didn't talk about it every week on every email. I know that's for a long time ago now, Jason, but you made your bed full of shit, and you can lie in it.
And Pilchard can film Chris and Rob in a hotel room. I don't know, what's all that about?
I
Pretty
never
sure
saw the
that didn't
video. It
happen.
doesn't exist. I thought I deleted it.
Right, okay, let's move on. Thank you, Jason, as always. Right, this is from Lewis, and he says this. Hello.
Hi, Lewis.
Hello.
Well, I've just finished my half-term holiday, and unfortunately, it's back to school again now. So, Game Pass, I've played a few games like Outlast and Crackdown 3, but only 2 games have really made me stick so far. Sea of Thieves and Cluster Truck.
Cluster Truck.
Plus the truckers. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
good.
Cluster Truck.
I just to pause this email, I put a image of Chris's thumb on the screen, but then got worried because it might be mistaken for a penis,
Really?
and YouTube might ban me for life.
Are you saying I look like I've got 5 penises at the end of my hand?
No, I think that your thumb looks like a penis.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
I think that asks worrying questions about what you've got going on downstairs there, Ginny.
Do you ever cut the nails on your penis?
So well, when I cut my, don't you have a nail on your penis? What? What?
Well, I don't think my penis looks like a burnt thumb.
I've not seen the picture yet. Where is this picture? Have you taken
Oh,
it
I
off?
took
'Cause
it
looks
off.
like a penis.
Just in case.
Put it
you-
back on again. Let
down.
me have a look at this
Okay.
penis thumb.
It's got a very hard ball-end section at the end.
Yeah, let's see. Let's
Well,
see.
what I'm
if-
saying is like
Let's see if we get banned for
the
it, then we'll know.
algorithms that these.
It's not gonna know. It's a fucking
It's
burnt
got a
thumb.
saggy old man bit on the
It's not
undercarriage.
got fucking. Has he got any balls on it? Has he got a scrotum dangling
I'm just
underneath
saying.
his
I
thumb?
reckon like there's computer bots that look for
Is
skin
there?
color. And
Well,
then-
let's see what happens if we get banned.
Oh
we
yeah,
banned,
let's get
whatever.
permabanned. Yeah, you fucking ban.
We don't get permaban for putting a picture of someone's burnt thumb on. God in heaven. Anyway, see
I
if
like your
these may-
tiles in your kitchen there, Chris. That's
Thanks. Yeah,
Oh, let's have a look. Is it
I
back on?
mocked them the week
It,
before. so
it does
they're
not
very
look like a goddamn penis. It looks like a thumb with a
Look.
blister on it.
The-
Doesn't
for
matter
the
with
audio
you.
listeners, Chris has got like.
It
like
looks like one now. You're zooming in on it.
Chris has got like a hairy knuckle on this bit. If I just zoom in here, so
Well,
You have to assess
apparently
my
you,
hand in so much
by the sounds of
detail.
it, you've got a hairy knuckle in your penis.
yeah.
There you go. Now what are you trying to make it look
He's
like?
got a fistful of knuckles in it.
So yeah.
Some irrelevant natives put in the chat. Seriously long thumbs. Are you Jack Skellington?
It's perspective. Someone's taken a weird perspective shot of that one. Must admit.
That's brilliant. Anyway.
Anyway.
Sea of Thieves may still mostly be the same as it was when it launched. However, improvements have been made and I've been really enjoying it. Cluster Truck is fun too. The game I've played mostly a week has been Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is my second attempt to play through because my first ended up with an elephant divine beast boss battle with only 4 hearts and a wooden weapon. Because I forgot how the game worked in my 6-month break, so I decided to start again, and now I'm really enjoying it. Everything about it is so polished, and it's just fun to wander around and climb stuff. I've played a ton more stuff, but I wouldn't be able to list it all here, or you'd all die of boredom. So, time for the big Question XL edition. Which developer has made the most truly great games? A developer who has put out the most amount of really memorable experience.
Rockstar.
Valve.
Quantic Dream.
There you go. Quite a mix of developers.
Robin?
Rob, anything?
I don't know. A lot of them have different hit and misses. I always remember looking back at, was it Hideo Kojima, being surprised by how many of his games have been rated ridiculously highly.
Yeah.
He's respected for a reason, I guess.
Yeah.
Insomniac. I'm gonna jump into Insomniac because Spyro the Dragons convinced me.
Naughty Dog.
Oh fuck yeah, Naughty Dog. They're good.
A lot of their games didn't necessarily do that well. I got criticised for stuff, but critically, Ninja Theory.
Yeah, I like Ninja Theory.
Yeah,
And
I like Ninja
I
Theory.
remember we went to a developer talk with him, and he was a really nice guy, weren't he? Really passionate about
Yeah,
what
he was
doing.
your best mate.
He was my bestie. Anyway, yeah, that's all our developers. We could talk a bit about, but we just haven't got time. So that's all for me this week. Also, Stu, how tall are you? Because last week Chinny said he's like a mini Stu, and I'm 5'11", so I might be taller than him. Also, I'm still not talking to Chinny because of it. Bye for now. Yeah, I'm 5'8", so I'm not very big.
Fuck off.
I'm only little.
5'8".
Wow, well, how tall do you think I am?
I don't know, like 5'1".
No, I'm not. So fucking rude.
You got little legs, haven't you?
I've got little legs and a long body. I have a long body and little legs. I have
Little
little
legs.
stumpy legs. Yeah, I can't help it. It's the way I was born. Whatever. And that's it. I guess we need to do some shout-outs and get the hell out of here. Thanks again to everybody who emailed. So let's do the guests first. So let's go with Rob.
Well, we might as well shout out the boss river who isn't here, Pilch. I bet he's going to be fucking livid when he finds out.
Oh, did I not
Why?
invite him? Oh, I must have missed that.
Why is he... Am I missing something here?
Wait, he idolizes you guys.
No, he doesn't.
I bet he fucking does.
He doesn't.
The only person who
Right.
idolises me is dead.
Is you.
Yeah.
You look in the mirror every day and go, oh, you fucking handsome bastard.
Yeah. It's true.
It's true. Thanks, Rob. Chris, over to you.
Oh, you guys and all the people that sent me nice birthday messages to say happy birthday. So yeah, thank you.
There you go. Ginny.
I want to shout out Irrelevant Native because for some reason he likes to talk to us, but he keeps calling us nerds.
Well,
I
we
don't
are.
know.
We are nerds.
Yeah,
We are nerds. That's
That's
what we
true.
are. We're nerds and proud.
that's true.
And I'm sure that he is also, or she is also a nerd. Hence why they're on here listening to this.
Did you just assume his gender? Do you know that's
He,
illegal?
Gender liquid, whatever, gender fluid.
Oh my god! I identify as a
supporter.
wolf. Okay.
Well, I'm going to shout out everybody who does the show and listens because for the last 2 weeks we've been on What's Hot on iTunes on the front page of Gaming and Hobbies podcasts.
Have we?
Yes,
I
we
do,
are.
I do apologise for making your show plummet down the ratings.
We're
after this
even
show.
higher at the moment than the giant Bombcast.
Yeah, it was all Chris's fault. I'm gold.
I don't know why. But when we've suddenly had a
I
massive
don't know why,
influx-
because that show's
listeners.
good and we're not.
I know, we're not. But yeah, we're right on the front page of iTunes again, which we haven't been for quite a while. So I don't know what's happened,
Can't
whether
wait.
it's all whether we've got new listeners or an influx of listeners. I don't know. But thank you very much to everyone who listens.
And now the
else-
money starts rolling in.
Fucking
I know,
cash
yeah,
money,
bitches.
bitch.
Yeah,
This is-
we're
this is-
hot.
This is why I got into podcasts for the cocaine and bitches.
Yeah. So thank you very much, everybody who's listening at the moment and what
Hands
have
off my cocaine, bitches.
Yeah, ex-
Irrelative, not native, irrelevant. I can't read.
you. Yeah, whatever.
he said, "I've been a long time listener / lurker."
Lurker.
So check that out. Hey, Stu,
Yeah.
what's happening on the 13th of April, Stuart?
We're going to the arcade club.
And people listening to this, they can't come, can they?
Of course they can. They can all come to
Oh my
Bury.
God! Anybody who's listening to this right now can come.
You can get a bit of black pudding. It's best place to get a black pudding. If you want black pudding, Bury's place to go.
Why have you got to spoil my thing?
That's what it is.
I'm doing.
Look,
a
even if they
thing.
don't come and meet us, right, and play games in an arcade club, they can get some black pudding.
No
and
one's
it's
going to get
lovely.
black pudding. It's disgusting. So we're meeting in Bury for the arcade club. Chris and Robin are definitely going to be there.
Definitely
They've told
gonna be- yeah,
me.
they're sharing a bed in a
Yeah.
hotel room, so I've heard.
because Chris is so organised in the hotel room.
no.
And then and we're going to be there. So go to our Facebook page, Veteran Gamers UK. Look for the black and white logo. And there we are. We'll be there, and you can join. You can have a meal with us and all that sort of stuff. There's going to be, I think there's about 15 people confirmed. I think I'm not 100% sure. But
Yeah,
there you go.
it's going up. It's steadily going up.
Something like
Are
that.
you going to struggle getting a hotel? Oh, not hotel, restaurant for all the people who
Yeah,
are
we'll be. Well, once we've got rough numbers, I'll book.
I want to go to that massive pizza restaurant because I didn't get to go last time.
So good. The pizzas were so good.
It
there.
was proper bow, to be fair.
Do
It was a really wood. It was like proper wood-fired pizza oven. It was well good.
The last one I went to, you went to that Chinese restaurant, but thankfully I bailed before you went to the karaoke.
Yeah, that was good.
Pizza and karaoke.
The food was good. Karaoke, not so much. Not so much. Right, I think that's it. We need to get.
I've
Well-
also released a YouTube video as we've been recording today. So hey, go! It's a Witcher 3 video.
No.
It fucking is.
What the what?
Yeah, it's Roach
Wowzers.
being a fucking dick.
Brilliant.
So
Quite
Go
a long
to-
video then.
no, it's only a minute actually. But yeah, go to the YouTube channel Veteran Gamers UK. Look for the black and white logo, and you can watch that shit.
There you go.
Quick shout out to Seth because it was his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Seth.
Happy birthday, Seth. We
How
love
old
you,
is
man.
How old is Seth?
Seth is 39.
102.
Not as old as Chris.
He's not as old as me. He's a year younger than me. I said he doesn't look a day over 50, does he?
No, he looks fucking old. I
Like,
think.
he's getting older with that big white
I
beard.
thought you were older than me.
He had a rubbish day today. Well, no, on his birthday, he realised that he hadn't been subscribed to PlayStation for too long, and he's lost all his saves. His Horizon Zero Dawn saves. All
Oh,
his saves are
really?
gone. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know they did that.
He ponied back up for a year's subscription, and they'd gone.
That's
So
so
he's-
took him off
he's-
the cloud.
He hates Sony now. He's like, I'm back on Xbox.
I
Fuck
mean, he
you.
didn't particularly like him beforehand.
He's like, I've played God of War. Fuck it.
Fuck Sony. Right, we need to go, man. We've gone way long because Duke's not here going, I've got to go. Yeah,
We gotta
so
go.
that being said, we've got to go.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.
Cheers.
Bye.
There you go. Done. Job done.
Well,
Oh
thanks
my-
guys for coming on to the show.
Yes, thank you.
Alright.
Yes.
See, who needs news?
That's nice.
We need news.
I don't need no fucking news. Just talk
Oh.
about games, baby.
I mainly cut news because it was the only thing that I did, and also,
It was shit.
like it's just boring. It's like I'll Peter
It is a
Molyneux
bit
you
boring.
as a fart, and you're like, oh my god. I don't mind
Yeah.
talking about the biggest. If there's something massive that happened, we could talk about it. Yeah.
It's
But-
usually like the smaller things that randomly spur interesting conversations, though, and you don't need a news section for that because you end up talking about things anyway.
We almost always end up getting about an hour out of our news, and it's usually like us just wittering on about the first item.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one thing that's actually interesting, and the rest of it's just like, yeah.
So let me ask you, Rob. What do you use to record now? Then, what are you recording with?
Skype.
Because you can. I didn't know you could actually record on Skype now.
Yep.
I thought you must because I could see this little red dot going. Robin is recording this conversation.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it records as a. I'm not sure if you can change the format, Rob, but it records it as a MP4 video, and you have
Yeah.
to convert it.
Oh really? Well, it's not that much hassle to convert it, but it's a bit.
No, it's not. But
backwards.
it's
Like,
something that
it's
Um,
easier for
to do.
Skype
If
to
you
just
could have a
implement.
WAV, then that'd be nice.
It'd be easier for Skype to implement just to. Oh, do you want to record the video
Like an
or
audio.
Also,
audio.
you can all get it now. It's in the
Yeah, I
if
can see
you go
it.
into the
Yeah,
chat,
that's
you
why I
can
just asked you.
download it.
So
It's
where's
quite
the
handy.
option for that?
There's not you got a big plus in the bottom right hand corner.
Oh yeah. I can
click
see that. More
Oh,
options.
actually,
Start recording.
yeah.
Wow, that's simple.
Yeah,
Huh.
they finally actually added something useful in the Skype.
Well, everybody used third-party software to do it, so I guess they
Well,
suddenly decided, like, maybe we
Yeah,
should have our own.
but then Skype basically hobbled them by making none of them work anymore.
Well, the one I use still works, as far as I know. Well, it may or may
Well,
not do. We'll see.
We used to use Pamela, and they killed that.
Yeah, Pamela got killed years ago, though.
And then I think I was using this dirt cheap one. I think it was completely free. I think it's the same one that you were using. But
Yeah.
we used to get some like kind of weird echo on it. And
Right.
generally we used to be much better off using Pilch's thing because he was recording his on a Mac, and that had much better audio quality. But so far this Skype one's been all right.
So how do you convert it then?
I don't know what Chris uses, but I use there's a free program called Goldwave. You can put it into that and then just convert it to an audio.
I use WavePad for everything, all the editing and everything.
So WavePad converts it all right, does it?
Yeah, WavePad does everything.
I love Wave. I've always used WavePad for.
Yeah, so if
ever since
I
I've
mean,
been doing
I
it.
still use Levelator to levelate, and then I use WavePad.
So Goldwave was like an audio package that we used at uni. So
Right. So
that was
if I just download that file and then just drop it into WavePad, it just go or
It'll
open
just
it
load
with
it up
WavePad.
as and you just
That's
you
all
just
right,
save
then
it
that's
as a WAV. Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to put that using it for hobbies only, for personal use, not for the business, don't you?
Oh, I downloaded a dodgy version of it years ago when we first started podcasting, and it's been fine.
Right. Well, in that case, we'll try that. Well, I'll try that. I'll save that to downloads, and we'll see what happens.
Seems fine.
So, very good. Rightio, guys, I've got to go.
Yeah.
Lovely
cheers,
job.
boys.
Nice
So
to
you've
speak
all
to you.
got stuff to do.
See you in
So
Bury
it's-
if we don't see you before then.
We'll definitely see you in Bury. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a good fun because I might not, like I say, get to go to EGX this year because of the stupid weekend they've chosen.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame.
Ugh. So yeah, so we'll see. Righty ho, I will
Alright.
speak to you all
Well,
soon.
good one,
Catch
dude.
you
Take care.
later. Cheers,
good night,
guys.
chaps.
Bye.
Good night. Bye bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Who's still there?
See ya.
Bye. Bye, stream.